Ra leboga program ya rena e tlo tsamaya ka mokgwa o. The first item ke yona ya opening and welcome. Now the second item is just the introduction of the committee and the department. Now the third item, actually we've got only one major issue. That is the bill. The bill, take us through it, key department. So that third item will be the presentation of the bill. Then immediately after that, then relief a chance that you interact with the bill as presented. Now, number 4, then it will be just announcement and closure. So the main item is the presentation of the bill. And I must really emphasize, this bill is economic development. It is like the Township Economic Development Bill. Let's say the business go in our townships. So this bill, as the department, as the legislature, bill I refer matla, or township economy, flourish. That is the main purpose of the bill. But now I want to hear from you, or not at this bill. So I'm not going to cut you, but let's try to focus on the bill. I'm going to general, whatever. More the bill, yet being presented. How other things, call to order Mara more the bill. Hutle department ya economic development, ya environment, ya agriculture, ya rural development. Kibwana batlongo bulela ka this bill. Listen to it very carefully. Kaba itlhalosa and leabona reveilele somewhere there'll be somebody with the hands baba sa khoneng go gore ba khone go ka mokarana re khone understand this thing. So that is the bill it can represent. Now let me welcome you. When you raise your hand, you speak the language of your convenient. Language you feel comfortable with. Make sure that you become comfortable with that. Now, the next item, kita introduce and I want to apologize. The members charna adihona because babanchi renali so many activities. Renali workshop ya youth ya sepo 1 million. So most members really have a attender ela ya youth. Only training, babambaili training ya legislature. So today we are only 2, 1 from the department. Narjwa from the portfolio committee. Kena eskide thalusije. Mpapa Kanyani. Sefani ke Kanyani. Libitwe ke Mpapa. Gape a ke tsamai ke le teng. Ke na le ntate Ghana Magashule ke tla re a le dumediše.
Avsheni dumelang ndumacheloni molweni sanibonani khuyemore good morning. Vito Magashule Ghana. I'm a member of the committee. So generally when we are in meetings, we are the ones who are talking the most. So we do the talking, but today is different. You are our bosses. You pay our salaries. We are in the legislature to represent you. We are here today to listen to you, what you are saying about this bill. And my plea to you is that you listen to it, then ask yourself whether this bill will assist you. Whatever concerns you have as a small business person, in the township, as you listen to the presentation from the department, please ask yourself whether this bill is going to assist you. If the bill is not going to assist you, then you must tell us that we must not accept the bill. We must reject the bill. Because we don't represent our jackets. We are in the legislature to represent you. So we are here to take a mandate from you. So please listen carefully to what the bill intends to do. And then if you have questions that the department cannot answer, then it will be up to us to take what you are going to say. To say, no, we've gone to the people and the people don't like what's written here. So don't be scared by the big words that the department is going to say. If it's not going to assist you, whether you're running you are selling chickens, you have got a spaza shop, you are fixing cars, you are selling cell phones, whatever you are selling in the township, if this bill is not going to assist you, please tell us that, how it's not going to assist you and what you would like to see in the bill. So this is the only time that you'll hear my voice. I'll only ask you to be honest and open, and then I'll be taking notes. Today is the day that I'm here to listen to you. Whatever you tell me that I must do when I go back to the legislature, that's what I'm going to do, Chairperson. Thanks very much.
Ke a leboga Ntate Ghana. And you have listened carefully. Today, re tle mo to listen to you. Rna a re tlo bolela selo. We are here to listen to you. And we be very clear, be very honest. We want to assist you, also assist us. Open, speak up your mind. Re botse gore na o bona bile e le jwang, make an input. So, Eric introduce Ntate Masha, greet them. It's from the department.
Tovela, Nakima Tupani Masha, Kijoko Department dia Economic Development under MEC Tau and a relevant related today. Thank you.
So, Akinyaku Sinyanako, Ntate Masha, I present the bill, reteaching carefully, utabo, the notes where possible. Then, utanu concentrate on the measure parts of the bill. Then from there, then we'll raise up our hands and then we make inputs. And then, really balife breakfast. It's just a working breakfast. So skara dialisha tabatla no le farbe silent rokono teacher the bill as presented. Ntate Masha, then it's your time.
Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Honorable Makachulekana. So kitlo leka ore ki kiskaja too much mara ki also other sections to summarize so that the discussion. Also, global speed, but gas will speed too much some deep. Kitano fella can speed mola or Honoquana and Jerola Pil, Mara Ranchi global gas hoa, Ranyan. Basanjan Bartushaka Gao connector laptop. So, Kitlo Wagili Getlaboza page and Rejola Bill. Rebasar to Shaka connects laptop or Lohono Bona document mo screening and Rebella page thing. Mara documentary Namodi Momo, or level Modim in all the pages. Page 1, page 2. I'm not last the page Modim. So, Anjagibella get Lolboza remote paging a thing. So that Rohono really more on the same page as well. So, yeah, Eregi test I read more page 4. All right. Yalagari Musampiri Gayana Abuleji. re tlo bolela ka Gauteng Township Economic Development Bill e leng gore government ya Gauteng e introduces gore e kgone thusha economy ya go makeisheneng.
le se ke la lebala go pressa ka mokgwa ke boletseng ka ona kere gore go press number 1 ke English, number 2 ke Afrikaans, number 3 ke Sepedi, number 4 isiZulu, isiXhosa, number 5 Shivenda, Sitonga. I just remind you the numbers. Thank you. You can continue.
So I'll go mofasi ingwe the bill kuri what is the purpose or bill so the bill, the main aim is to provide for the promotion and the development of the township economy and to create a conducive environment for the attainment of that purpose, to provide for licensing of township-based enterprises, but also to provide for the management of the township fund through the Gauteng Township Economic Development Fund. So everything else that we are going to look at in the bill, it will cover all these areas in detail, and those are the things that we are going to be discussing. And then Ariamo page 5, Yaruna. It will like a preamble. So it's a preamble because IRFA also delenses how we need to be able to understand the process here in most of Africa and even in our province. Point number 2. And whereas Section 22 of the Constitution guarantees the right of every citizen to choose his or her trade, occupation, and profession freely, and empowers the state to regulate the practice, occupation, and profession by law. So it's an important point because this is what our Constitution says. So as a South African, the Constitution gives you those rights. Business Emba Musho Unale Ufiwa Matla, or they can regulate some of the trades, the occupation, or the professions. So when I little gelo, Mara Mushulo on my carabel, never give a gamoho in terms of the process Yaudramlao, South Africa. Yeah, and also the second one here end, whereas Gauteng provincial government recognizes that the significant participation and meaningful inclusion of the people of the township in the mainstream economy of the province through their own township enterprises that are supported by the government and big business will transform the economy. So, government Gauteng, one of the ways regarding township economy or what babi included more economy, but also economy accommodation role, meaningful participation. So, constitution. So, under the Malau Ufa Musho my Carabello, IJ, Parlelona Elefadi Tokelo JJ, and then more page 4, page 6, page 7, give the table of contents, document A. So, kitlo lega mfempere akopejor ki lege or jedingwe ki di summarize mara keskaba krelor akiri hlalosa ga botse ke tla leka go hlalosa ka mogo di tlo khotsofatjang. So mo go chapter 1 ki di preliminary provisions the definition. So e bohlokwa chapter e because e hlalosa gore township ke eng, e hlalosa gore business go township ke eng. Agree later on at the document, it will the programs or ke mang o a benefita mo programming je. And ge re motho o tlamela jo township, tlamelo definition e kgone go khotsofatsa condition as well. And then chapter 2, like a designation of township areas. Chapter 3, like a regulation of township-based enterprises. Chapter 4, like a promotion and development of township-based enterprises. And then chapter 5, like a Gauteng Township Economic Development Fund. And then chapter 6, like a role of municipalities. And then I think chapter 7, the general provisions in J or or change so page 8. Some few definitions here because it's very important that we understand or a township running, a township business running, and so forth and so forth. So, ngasi di balika fela jadi mo I think level really busy. Kenya go tomaka enterprise. Enterprise in this context means an undertaking or a business concern, whether formal or informal, which is engaged in the production of goods and provision of services, and it includes an entrepreneur, or a small enterprise or a small enterprise organization, and a cooperative entrepreneur means a person who starts and operates a business or both, which includes identifying opportunities in the market, taking risks with a view of making or with a view of being rewarded with profits. So that is the definition of an enterprise in terms of this draft bill that we are talking about today. And then on page 9, small enterprise. Small enterprise means a separate or a distinct business entity, together with its branches or subsidiaries, or if any, including a cooperative enterprise, managed by one or more owner, predominantly carried on in any sector or subsector of the economy as mentioned in the document. So, the definition of small enterprise here. And also, this definition is in line with the National Small Business Enterprise Act as well. And then the second one is small enterprise organization. ERA means an entity, whether or not incorporated or registered under any law, consisting mainly of persons carrying out on a small enterprise concern in any economic sector, and established for the purpose of promoting the interest of or representing small enterprise concern, including any federation consisting wholly or partly of such associations or any branches of such organizations. So those are is a very important definition as well. I didn't forget cooperative, we also have cooperative, but in this case what it says is a cooperative as registered, as defined in our country, in terms of the Cooperative Act of 2005 as well. So Arai Jamba Cooperative Lona is included in as a more definition here, Zona. And then on page 10, Tomaga Township. Township means an area contemplated in section 6, section 6, which includes urban, peri-urban, and rural living area, which at any time from the late 19th century up to 27 April 1994 was reserved for black people. So that is very important. Like historical townships. The townships that were established before 1994 were predominantly were reserved for black people. Second part of the definition, a township that has been developed for historically disadvantaged persons after April 1994. So only those few, well, there are few, but they're there. Those townships, yes. Like Ivory Park, I think. Cosmo City, I think Cosmo City after Leona as well. So these are the townships that are developed after 1994, but mainly for historically disadvantaged persons. So like so when somebody comes and say, I am from the township, and I need support 1, 2, 3, then no, let's check your township. Is it qualifying in terms of this definition? Because I can relate on the projects, programs, and benefits and so forth. So it means anybody who's going to be benefiting from the programs that are proposed here must be from a township, satisfy this definition, these two sub-definition, and then if it's an enterprise or a business, it must be a business in terms of the definitions, small enterprise definition, and so forth, and so a cooperative, and so forth, and so forth. So that is very important. And then the second one talks about township-based enterprise, so which means a small enterprise or a small enterprise organizations or a cooperative, which is based or situated in a township designated as per that section 6 that we are still going to come to. So those are very important definitions because, yeah, but also we know, I think that there are other areas that have sort of, well, they were there before 1994, but in terms of levels of deprivation, the picture has completely changed. And I think those areas will come to your mind, like Buyo, Beria, Hillbrow, that were suburbs, but they are no longer. So they are now, you have predominantly the so-called previously disadvantaged living in those areas, as an example. So some of those also may, depending on what people want, to qualify because based on who lives there, just as an example. But in terms of programs and implementation, this is the definition that we are confining ourselves to. And you can also make an input in terms of this definition to say, Mara, Ngari exclude, or at least let's capture it this way. But for now, this is the guiding definition, or what is a township, what is a township-based enterprise, and so forth and so forth. So I hope I've managed to spend time in explaining some of these very important definitions. And then after another township-based enterprise, guiding principles. So basically guiding principles, it means everything else that we're going to talk about in this document must be consistent with these principles. So whether you talk about funding enterprises, it must be consistent with these principles. Whether you talk about promoting, developing, it must be consistent with these principles. So any, what you call guiding principles. Like if you go to our constitution, it will have those things. So even in this bill, these will be our guiding principles in terms of this document. And then I will just go through them quickly. One is that this bill, which will in the future become an act, seeks to facilitate and promote inclusive economic growth along a transformative paradigm in order to build a cohesive and more equal society. So if I just maybe single out few ways there. One is that this growth that must be driven, when this thing is implemented and the economy in the township is growing, this growth must be inclusive. It means that it must not leave other people out. It must not leave women out. It must not leave young people out. It must not leave people with disabilities out. It must be inclusive, but also it must be transformative. Meaning that, as you know, in our economy, what you call sectors in the economy. There are sectors in our economy that they are not transformed. So meaning when it comes to programs that are designed in this document, those programs must make sure there's inclusion. Those programs must make sure that there's transformation. So it increases participation of previously marginalized, but also special groups like women, like youth, and so forth, and military veterans, people with disabilities, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So that point is very important because if at any stage you come back to us and say, I see you're implementing programs in the township, can I check if the programs are inclusive or transformative? So just to continue, so is building a cohesive and equal society which is underpinned by a growing and inclusive economy, diversifying the ownership patterns in the economy, facilitating easy access by entrance into all sectors of the economy. Maybe if I just also spend a bit of time here. So I've already spoken about inclusion and transformation. And then the other principle is around diversifying the ownership of the economy in our province, in our township, which is very important. We'll come to some examples later as well. So there must be diversity in terms of ownership as well, especially if you look at diversity in terms of women, in terms of youth, and so forth and so forth. So those are very important principles that underpins this important document. But also there must be easy access by new entrants. We know as small businesses already, if you want to start a business and you want to register your business, Nagongwa is not easy. Nagongwa is costly, depending on what you're doing. Nagongwa is costly. Nagongwa, for you to get the license, you must go to 25 or whatever offices to get that license. What these things basically is that it must be easy for enterprises in the township to basically enter the economy and then grow their businesses. So that is very important because otherwise then if a problem, and what it will then do, instead of formalize the business here, I will just remain informal and do my thing. But at the same time, you may also miss out on opportunities that you can easily access as well. And then on the second part of the guiding principles state that without derogation from the provisions of subsection 1, organs of state within the province must be guided by specific transformative principles driving township economy interventions. So this bill also, if I might government, agree, we have a lot of different departments in the province that are doing different things. So what this bill does is that it also gives them a responsibility to make sure in whatever they're doing, whether it's education, health, human settlements, their programs must also be transformative and be inclusive as well. In terms of the definition, I give inclusion and transformation earlier. So this is very important, and so that when you go to a department, you can't feel guilty or regarding, no, it is their responsibility to make sure whatever they're doing is inclusive and is transformative as well, according to what this bill proposes. So it's a very important principle as well. This would include interventions that focus on sections of the economy where there's rapid growth potential, and they are driven by the ethos and imperatives of transformation, modernization, and reindustrialization. They're also structured to include social protection of vulnerable groups in society.
Pambili, and well done. And also note that you are in line and in tandem with the National Development Economic Document and Statement. Another thing that I want, which is at the bottom of my concern, is the nature of demographic expansion, what was previously referred to by the apartheid administration as the immigration patterns. Now that you are there as Uncle Big Bucks, you are there to help us all get rich and get sustainable, what impacts does this have on the total population surge and people who are hopeful, who come from other areas of South Africa or from Zimbabwe or from Mozambique or from the rest of Africa, say, oh, South Africa, there's opportunity for growth, let's go there. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say, and thank you very much.
Sanbonani, Lona Bafana Rajlamini from Tembisa, South Africa Justice Forum. Bagwetu, Siyabonga. Siyabonga uhulumeni wethu into asilethele yona. Sibonga kakhulu, sishayela izandla kakhulu. Kodwa mayingagcini ke eholweni phela. My monitor ukuthi abantu balithole lolo sizo enikhuluma ngalo lingaqini futhi la eholweni ngoba sinenkinga A1 siyawenza amakhampani sifuna ukwa register kodwa singawutholi lo mnyango la ku register khona le inkampani sokufuze sikhiphe imali esinganayo kuthiwa khipha imali engaka ukuze uregister inkampani eso and if ingasinjalo angeke bakuregister into esicelayo leyo okunye futhi esibuye sikucela ukuthi njengoba nina nila niyakwazi ukukhuluma nathi kodwa mesingasuka la siye ofisini lenu bathi siyokhuluma nawe bathi akabonwa you must follow the protocol uyabona yizinto ezinye ezenza ukuthi thina sivele sizibuke ezinye izinto ezenziwa government sisibonele phansi ukuthi ngesinye isikhathi sithathelwa phezulu mokuziwa kithi kodwa thina mesiya kubo cha sekufuze you must follow the protocol uyayibona yiyo ke into eyenzakalayo sithi kuloku enukushoyo abaningi ngiyathemba bakwenzile abaningi abala and ukunezalukwazi kunama disabled ahamba ngama wheelchair a brave la kodwa akunomuntu noyedwa oke wezwa kubo ukuthi ngabe senikuphi and imali le abanike ugovernment abanikezayo unikeza abantu laba abaneziswe inkulu endlule zami ngoba ngani bona yibo abasheshe ukufinyelela kunina kodwa laba abangasheshe ukufinyelela hayi cha sodla kusasa mangithanda ukubonga kuwo wonke umuntu thank you
Thank you so much. I greet everyone in the house. Thank you, leadership, for coming. This is very refreshing. The information is itolayo. It is very good. So my name is Utando Wakamabuza Ngubie Davidson. So I represent ama SMMEs wase Davidson, especially Abo Mama. I am running a company called Davidson Economic Hub, wherein I assist different organizations and SMMEs. Then I'm also here through Umampeni, wherein we also help women that have been abused, women that are in disadvantaged conditions. So I've got a few challenges from a few SMMEs, but I would like to address the challenge of agriculture. So we do have a challenge of getting access to land. There is nothing that we can do or that we are currently trying to do without having access to land. So you go to the municipality office, to the municipality offices, then we are back to a Department of Agriculture. Then you go to a Department of Agriculture, then they tell you that they don't have access to land. Then they send you back to the municipality offices. Then they say, around, our farms are vacant. You do that, then you go to agriculture, it doesn't assist you. You go back to the Department of Iloni municipality, coordinates, then they say they cannot give you the numbers of the owners, of the farm owners, because they are not allowed. They are afraid for their safety. So access to land is a challenge. So whatever you may try to do in terms of assisting black people, if you don't give them land, then there will not be any development and there will not be any township enlightenment or township increase. So that is the main challenge of my SMMEs. Then also we would like to address in the Bayama patent in terms of ama herbs, in terms of ama herbal products. Mohamba uyo patent DTI bakunikeza list bathi ama herbs lawo abelonga eIndia or bathi eEurope already uwa documented. Meanwhile thina abantu abamnyama ithe safika la kuqala kulomhlaba. It's just that okay thina abokhokho nabogogo bethu babangakhona ukubhala basho ukuthi uba discoverile igarlic or they discovered a certain herb, but now because of economy or because of illegal regulation onke ama herbs manje thina eAfrica as now abantu abanama herbs are apparently ama-Europeans, ama-Indians. So may you please address those two issues. Then ziziningi maningi ama-challenges afeswa ama-SMMEs. Then last, kwaba ne-BRP funding ebuya ku-government. So ngayi-applyela i-BRP funding leyo, yang approve August. Even today angayitholi imali. all these months, just in a grant, a government is more than 6 months. And meanwhile, while apply the grant, back for nama forms, back for no phone, back for no kinto. So I think Manchester saying spend close to 3,000 just trying to get that grant. And the process, manje, it's affecting you as an SME, especially as a female-owned entity. It causes a lot of stress. So there's no trust. You can deliver. There is no trust now between SMEs and the government because it delivery ayuko. Then also back to melala. So communication as a department now, are you viable or maybe are you transparent? Ugutu umunta akonuktola usizo. So nyabonga kakulu.
Thank you very much. Sanudlala ngati nindikhombile nathi ndithethe. Ixesha lami.
No, let's agree. Don't start talking. Let's agree. What we said, we gave people numbers. So we are going in terms of the number. We are not going to allow anybody just to speak. And I know you are the one who's coming. That's why we give you the platform.
Thank you very much. Tata ndazi sosilungu sakhe ngasunganiboleka kanjani umuntu omdala wena othwele umnqwazi apha. Ndibaxelele ngesilungu abeva abantu bahleli pha etafuleni. Xa uthetha isilungu kungona bazeva. Ndivuya kakhulu uba nithi yonke lento enizele apha izaba ne-capacity building. Because it's what we lack, capacity building. It's what we lack. We just want to start businesses. Diyadlula apho. Ingaba le document le enithi nicela basibe nama input or whatever. It's biased, this document, to the poor of the poorest. Yes or no? Difuna that thing. Why I'm asking that question? Utata omdala pha uyichazile indaba oba sihlala nomakhelwane enomakhelwane ngaba benza ama business. And then besenza ama business nje ingaba yonke lento ebhalwe apha kweli phepha izawukhavara thina as South Africans okanye izawukhavara nje wonke umuntu. Again, kukho indoda ekwakuthiwa ngu Marcus Monzaya Gavi. Ingaba le concept le iyayithatha i-50% yendlela uMonzaya Gavi awaqala ngayo amabhizinisi eAmerica eqalela abantu abamnyama athi abantu abamnyama mabahlukane nabelungu. Okanye this document, it's just a bureaucratic one, this one. Dicela ubuza ke uba as malls as mushroomayo apha ekuhlaleni. Why ningenza uba nina as a Gauteng legislation nenzo kokuba baphoqeleke kube yi-must ukuthi at least 50% of the product, whether ngu Pick n Pay okanye ngu Boxer, ize nabantu be local. Again, why ningabaphoqeleli? Because we are the poor of the poorest. Ukuthi when it comes to rental, renta ukuba pa kulama malls, at least i-rental yabo ibe affordable. Diyapha kwi-funding ke ngoku yama board members of the Township Economic Fund. I'm happy that at last we are going to have it. Mina all this time bengicinga uba ndinayo kangangoba bendithatha uba niyasirobha nina. Bengicinga uba sinayo i-local economic fund. I'm one of the people mna apha Ivory Park uba ndenza uba sibe ne-Hawkers Association. Njalo. We're trying to emerge uba siforme ke i-business forums. But ngenxa yokuthi uxhaso asilitholi kahle sisantenga. Ngizama ukuchecka ke ukuthi njengoba nine information yokuthi sizokwenza ama board members. Ama board members why fuze futhi kuyokhethwa the middle class kungakhethwa the poor of the poorest. Njengoba nine information enisinikeze yona le information ukudala ngithola. I'm the founder mna yento ebizwa ukuthi i-Operation Tibanyaupe. Ngayivala leyo nto leyo bengizama ukuphelisa noma ukunciphisa ukudliwa kwama drugs ngabantwana. Engizama ukusho ukuthi if nine information ukuthi we've got empty schools, especially eSoweto. Because abantu bakhona umgangatho wezemfundo bawubeke phezulu abafuna abantwana bafunde local bafuna bafunde kuma model schools and so on. Ngoba nina ke nine information ukuthi there are schools that are empty. Why don't turn those schools into a rehabilitation centers? Because tina uma sizofa sina lama business, who will take over kulama business ngoba labantwana bazobe befile. I-business enye nenye ayenzelwa esibhakabhakeni. Kgwebo engulie ngwe ayetsetsa mo lefaufau o yetsetsa mo fase mo in the surface. Land. How to access land. And the last thing I tlo bolela le lena go hore I'm more than worried. Government ya rena it's ya palelwa ku monitor, ya palelwa ku monitor. For example, mmuso wa rena o ka tla mo wa retsetsa di market tse ntle man di market tse ntle di market ya tlatla. Go tlhaela batho ba bang ba berekisa di market tse. And those people ba berekisang di market tse are not the electorates, are not the voters. The market is the service delivery for batho ba ba ileng ba voter. So in closing, yene ke batlalise kon Tate Ramaphosa. We don't have freedom anymore in this country.
Yeah,
The guy in the black hat.
yeah, that guy with a gray, yeah, then it will come to, yeah, it will come that way. We know those who have raised their hands will follow that process. Yeah, on the floor.
Siyabonga chairperson nesibonge zonke ipika ezikhulumile abakhulume kahle. Igama lami uThabangwa kaMayibela. I'm from EBBG Ekurhuleni Business Group from Davidson. Into bengifuna ukuyiraise kahle bengifuna ukuyiraise la ku page 4 la kubhalwe khona ibill. La kuthiwa to provide licensing for township-based businesses. You know, sometimes kuba nzima for abantu baselokishini uku-assessa lezi zinto lezi njengoba ubaba bekashilo la ukuthi asinayo sometimes imali ukuthi siye ePitori. Abantu bethu sometimes they think ukuthi registering a business is more expensive. And of which register a business is not that expensive. The only thing that is expensive is compliance. The compliance expensive kakhulu. So into siyazi ukuthi like mawufuna kuya ICIPC, you know very well ukuthi ICIPC uyabhatala 170 ama businesses wethu election ashota ngayo. So you need to partner with us sizokwazi ukuthi sisebenze. Thank you.
Good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Thank you, leadership. My name is Fika Mokwana. I'm from Tembisa, and I'm also sitting on 3 boards from Ekurhuleni Tourism Regional Tourism Association. I'm also sitting on Gauteng Tourism Forum. So now I'm representing Tembisa Economic Development Growth for Youth and Women. We've been in business for quite some time. But then what I would like to request from the Gauteng legislature is very simple. You know, sing abantu baseTembisa, or let me say townships as a whole. Sahlupheka bafowethu. Kunzima ukuthi ngisuke la nge-GEP. I-GEP asinayo ema-townships. Especially singithe Tembisa, I don't know other townships. eTembisa asinayo i-GEP. Because manje sikhuluma nge-compliance, which we must register companies. But register company is money. Why singabi nama like the company that I'm in now, it's an economic development. We're trying to develop or to establish hubs so that people can get easily access to register for their businesses. But now, mangabheka manje government yethu, ama resources with vaccine are all over. Why singabi nama centers like that? Kube nama tender maningi agcwele ukuthi okay fine, ngifuna ukuregister, ngifuna compliance yonke as a whole. Mele ngibe ne CIPC, mele ngibe ne vendor, mele ngibe ne CSD. Lezo zinto zonke, it's money we have to run around ukuthi comply. Singabantu baselokishini asina mali, siyindlala nje usibhekile. Siyahlupheka ukusuka kwami ukuthi ngihambe ngePretoria or ngihambe ngeJimmiston, it's money. So ngiyacela leadership ukuthi nikeni isibheke, izani kithi sondelani kithi nisebenzisane nathi. And then another thing that I want to talk about is the zoning. Zoning, a township, it's money. So ukuyohamba ukuthi uyoregister izoning, uzokhipha imali engeshisayo. I'm running a business. Sometimes bangihlupha mina abo phoyisa. But sisi awunako lokho. Mara nali Pakistan la iduzana kwami abangeni kulo. Balifune lamaphepha. Beza kimi as a South African. Mina engibhadala utax. Engivotayo. Mara nangu Pakistan is making a lot of money la iduzane kwami. So ngicela ukuthi ezinye izinto sisibheke ezifana nalezo because kunzima bafowethu township. Siyahlupheka, sihlushwa ugovernment wethu. Size sithi kube kungcono kube uloya we-apartheid. Because law esikuwo manje uyasicindezela ngempela uyasicindezela. And then lastly, like like providing licenses. Pakistan foreigners, they don't have licenses. Le bill le ngiyayibona yona, it's okay, but uyacindezela thina futhi. Uyacindezela bona babhizi bayahluma. Laba beyinwele lezi abo Pakistan. Bayahluma baba rich ngeyimali zethu. But thina asikwazi ukuvula ama business emalokishini afana nawo because asina mali. We need a government to assist. I think ne taxi value chain. Mangane nisilungiseleni i-value chain ye taxi economy. Makube ama South Africans sazi ukuthi kune food hub, kunama hubs at different aso create market ukuthi thina singabantu baselokishini sikwazi ukubenefit. So then lastly, red tape. Please, seniyazi mangikhuluma nge-red tape, seniyazi nikhuluma ngani. Because manje sivalelekile, sivalele red tape enkulu nje, is-surrounded thina singabantu baselokishini. Thank you very much.
Ngizobulisa ndingumXhosa ndingunikiwe ndisuka eWindmill Park eBoksburg Ward 99 sebe qule bawagangatha omama nosisi nodadewethu mna into ebendizawuphinda ndicela ukongeza kuyo kuba bazithethe zonke ezebusiness nesikhalo so register ibusiness zethu esitrayayo uzenza singama South African. Enye into bengizocela njengoba nilapha baba ninonke kuthethwa ngebill. Ibill ayibhekanga ukutyisa thina kuphela, ibheke ne youth. abantwana bethu baya kwizidakamisi because of umntana sawufeyila imatric kunyanzelekile ukuthi makakhiphe imali for uyobhala isubject. There's no free ebuye last year matric. Makumela sape some subject azokhona uqhubekeka nesakhono sakhe akakhoni. Number 2, kune provinces ezikhonayo ukuthi zi-announce ngoJanuary zithi bonke abantwana abasuka ku-matric, bonke abantwana abane-learners, bonke abantwana abafuna ukwenza ikhompyutha, bonke abantwana abafuna i-license, they must come forward. Kwi-bill ningazikhohlwa. Ngiphinde ngizobuya kwindaba yokamama kasisa ithethileyo ukuthi kunama-Pakistan. Because manje sengizawufana nophendula abantu because bazithethe zonke ebezizicela banizawuzithetha. Yona leyo into iyasilimaza kakhulu because thina we follow i-procedure as a South Africans. And that procedure gives us a hard time. We suffer because of silandela yona. But bona aba bangana ID, bangena licenses ala, they are easy to get whatever they want. As a result, they own their houses while we're staying in the shelters. So, makuthethwa ngebill, kuthethwa ngento ejongene nama South African, not all African. So akukho okuningi engizokhuluma. I'm crying for my kids because we can have a lot of rehabs. Rehab cannot do anything better because even that money inikezwa abantu be rehab nayo yimali bekufema izosebenza kuthi ebantwaneni bethu before they get on that period of baye kwi rehab. Ngiqedile, ngiyabonga.
Molweni, di ngumlindele Geqazi igama, di Sevilalize Ward 99. Nzawugawulandwa rhoqa. Just a few things. Number 1, can you please clarify to us, maybe before we leave this house, clarify to us ukuthi where can we make follow-up about this bill, whatever that is being spoken about namhlanje. Because many times we've been invited into meetings, kukhulunywa izinto ezi-right, but unfortunately, xa sekufanele ukuthi manje sizi-access, we don't know where to go and nobody knows. We need an office, we need a contact person so that we become clear and you are going to be accountable for that. Then the other thing is we think siyabulela kakhulu ngale ndaba enize nayo because irabha into in my mind ethi i-system zethu la South Africa zi-happy or zi-supporta i-slavery mentality. Why am I saying that? It's very easy to give a grant. Right now, gune grant yama 350 for people abahlela bangenzi nix. But when you are running a business, you knock and say, I need a finance, I need a funding. I'm telling you, we will pay 3 years, pay 10 years without getting a funding. So that simply means umduza South Africa umdukuze aphile funa ukuthi ahlale njalo ekhongozele engumakupa nansika alindele ukuspoon feedwa. So that is what the government of South Africa is happy for. Abantu abame ngenyawo abafuna ukusebenza, they are unable to support. And then another part is when it comes to land, kona oitintile, when we need land, you will go to every office, kwamaspala. Nobody is helping you. We need land to run our businesses with. There are businesses that you cannot run in your own house. And those businesses we run as indlini, angeke kube ngama business angasenza ukuthi sibe ngama entrepreneur. Except ukuthi senza lento bethetha ngayo mama pha ye hand to mouth, just ukuthi ulala udlile. Mawufa wena as the owner yalo business leyo, the business is dead. Then indaba ye funding as well, if funding it favors abantu, the foreign nationals. I was talking to one guy, a Lokshini, a Pakistani guy, Uti Abraham, let me tell you something. If you can go to ABSA now or to a Standard Bank or whatever bank, go with you and look for a funding. Uti, I will come back with the funding, but when you won't. Because you, South African, are not trusted by your own people or your own institutions. Then the last part, I just want to say, what are the plans and strategies in place in the Department of Economic Development, legislature, and everyone that is concerned to make sure that all these, actually, what you call it, this bill that we are talking about, or every other law, what are the plans that are in place to make sure that are being implemented, they come to pass? Can we please make sure that right now we develop people abafuna ukusebenza? We develop people who are, right now we are seated here. Njengoba sihleli la, there are two groups. You are at work. We are seated here. This time we are seated here, we are supposed to be doing something to try and make a living. So we need right now, let's stop about promises. Let's now work on implementation of the promises. Thank you so much.
Ngiyabonga nami ukuthola ichance. Mina nami nguPetros Mabuza, ngihlala khona la eIvory Park, la emuva la eManayini. Ngiyabonga lokho ukuthola le chance ngitholile. Bengicela ukuphuma kancane ngento enzeke ampuru izolo khona la kule site enhlala ngakulo la eManayini khona la eIvory. Kunabanye abantu ngathi bathunyela angazi kwamanye ama section sazoyenzeka lento. Abantu bakhona ngathi ramakula, bamba ngikuta, angazi ukuthi abomeya bayazi lento leyo. Bamba baplaka emajartini. Baplaka amanye amaphepha yabantu abakolotayo indaba ze-rent la e-Ivory Park. Angazi ukuthi umeya uyayazi kancane leyo clue leyo or yoyiqala khona lakithi kwamanye 2 or 15 or kuphi size I don't know ngalokho. I don't know kahle ngalokho. Into encane nje yenzeke ampuri izolo kulama site engihlala ngaku. And then mina i-shortcut engifuna ukuyisho kuko konke lokhu umeya akukhulumile la. Please shortcut. Ukukhuluma nokwenza akufani. Please enza. Thank you. Ngicedile.
Ke rata le dumedisa kaofela. Lebitso la ka ke nna Mahlatse. Ke volunteer at Sanka. Then hona le organization ke volunteer le mo. As today ke rata le the bill and the constitutions then ba re botsa tsona. Most of the things tse ke di writing down, most of them they've been said. Mostly here they were talking about not my concern is your NPOs, your NGOs, because mostly kitila go those parts. And as Babolela in the constitutions about the cooperatives, about your NGOs and your NPOs, we have to as one. Then the moment re tlhakana as one, if there's something that comes up, please, re kgopela hore ho dirwe maroto I thousands or maroto I 3,000s. It was raising concerns, we have to re tlhakane, most of us, then reproduce that. And in dealing with people talking about businesses, your SMEs, yes, truly, here we are businesses, we are trying by all means, this is our ideas, this is what we have. But then us going, we need access in terms of where can we go? Who are we connected? Even in this time of days, and as a now it's about who do you know when you go the retails. Like, who is the connection that you have? You can go your Pick and Pay, or yes, here I am, I'm a trendsetter, I need the sponsor, or I need food. I teach these children. After school, they need food. But then, when you go there, when you approach, they will be telling you, who are you? Or who do you know? Like, this access, these things are there, are written. You can go here to register your business. You can go here to get sponsors. But then now, as this country and as the summing up things, it's about connection. Who do you know? Then so in terms of the Bill of Rights, this bill, what does the government do? Got this corruption. What is written here for this corruption that has been said on the bill? Then as us going in terms of Renyaka, those sponsors, in terms of accessing the funds are there, yes. What must we do to go to get those funds? Because we really do need those funds, we really do need that money. Then now my concerns again is, as the people that are holding, can you please, that if those access are there, that here are the forms, this is how you feel. I will really appreciate if you guys, you can come, got those access, come, got those channels, come, got those doors or forms. These are the channels. If you want to go, you need money. Here, go to this door. If you want to go, you need the food parcels, or you need to register for this, for a business, or you need to register, or you need the equipment. This is the channel that you must go. Those, as the bill was saying, there are mechanisms that we must use, or channels, like if they sponsor you or you get money. Those channels, where are those channels? Bring them. Let that we have access. As my brother was saying, we do not have access in going to those channels, to those doors. They were saying, in terms of training, we do. I think we do need those trainings, those mechanisms to be trained. Here is the money. Then when you have the money, what is the channel for you to maintain that money in that organization or in that businesses? As it was said, the example that this is a business, it's booming, it's doing well, but then there are no receipts. Then when it's like that, it will be good in terms of offering us, or offering that business those mechanisms, finance, or accountant. How do you deal with your books? If you're a business, it's booming and it's going well. Like in terms of government assistance, the bill, help us in terms of those. It's what we need. We are here, yes, here we are youth. The youth is unemployment. You know the unemployment rate is higher. Then we are saying as community, here we are as youth, use us. As there is backlog in the government, as there is backlog in the legislature, here we are saying we want to volunteer. We can come and even implement whatsoever that you are having, or implement whatsoever the channels, as those NGOs are there, as those forums are there. Here we are, we have them, then we give them the platform, and then we show you this is what is needed, then please come to us, then how can we take this economy and go forward. Thank you very much.
Sanbonan, mina Lawrence Chiane from Davidson. The problem I'm with inventor. As an inventor, benyak bopro aichula bulama say token. Lama say token da supporter abantwana abancane abafuni imali bayabanceda ngama invention wabo. But thina dabe see above 19 or 20 basifuna imali asazi ukuthi sithatha leyo mali leyo. And secondly ngaya ethiya Technology Innovation Agency bathi la kule document bakhuluma indaba yokuthi they finance research ethiya mangiya khona bathi kimi abayifandi i-basic research and ngikhuluma ngama-state organ ukuthi la kuyafandwa mare ema-innovation hub nasemathiya bathi abayifandi i-basic research so angazi-ke ukuthi kumele ngiye kuphi-ke ngiyabonga.
Yeah, there are two more at the back. I remember we had the 3 hands at the back. That's where we are going now. We don't raise hands now. I agree we have noted people. Yes, there are 3 at the back. That's the one that I know. Yes, yeah.
Sengenibingelele nonke nikhona ngibingelele umkhandlu ngibingelele abafowethu nabodadewethu abomama nabobaba. In short lama lokishini esine crisis ye electricity ne esine crisis ye electricity and so now most of people they start to using gas igas and as we use your igas most of the people who are operating gas lama lokishini abenza ama refill is the people who come from outside South Africa, is the people who are illegally, and as they operating in the place that are full of the people like next to the tax ranks, and next to the rank according umthetho wegas akubelanga operate igas lapho because makungaba khona obhemayo alahlele istompi sokwayipansi kungasha wonke umuntu. So njengani nilapho nithi nizela kithi ne development engikucelayo kini zonke lezikhalazo abazibekile related iphaza nokuhlukunyezwa ngamaphoyisa ngoba avumela ukuthi ku-operate laba abantu aba-operate ngokungekho emthethweni ngoba thina singama South Africans siyawuhlonipha umthetho and masicala sithi siveza ngaphambili ukuthi amaphoyisa asasebenza ukuthatha ama-bribe wena uyi-target yamaphoyisa nabo labantu abenza lezo zinto lezo. So njengani nine ningumkhandlu kumele nibe ne-hotline center la sizokwazi ukuthi singumphakathi sihleli endlini sikwazi ukureporta lamaphoyisa siwabonayo amaveni mawafika ema-tech shop athatha imali. Sitshele nine ngoba kuyafana amaphoyisa wenzini noma ungathi uyeza la ngabobhruru babo kuzokwazi ukuthi kwehle izinga lobugebengu ukuze abantu abamnyama babuyele back to ba-operate ama-spaza shop. And kumele nine njenge-development yabantu abala enekhe nathi njengoba nisho kumele nibe neperimeter ukuthi ewardini kumele kube nama-shop ama-foreigner angakanani like lama-Pakistan because corner to corner uthola iPakistan khona amanye asarana 3-4 tech shops. Go to Soweto uyabala idradi before uzothola Pakistan. And sicela nini development nize nizo investigate izinto ezidayiswa lapha phakathi ema-shop because some other Pakistan they operating tech shop but they hiding the operating drugs. And uzobona vele amaphoyisa izonikeza i-cold drink inikezwe isinkwa ihambe. Amaphoyisa kulaba abadayisa izinto ezingekho emthethweni okungavuneki abasayi ngeveni manje sibaye bagqoke private njengami bothatha ichurch mawubabona ngakusasa bafika bamthatha leyo muntu odayisa lento leyo okwazi ukuthi akababrayipanga ngayizolo. And sicela nine njengoba nila mani nganyamalani niqhamuke ngoba Justin funa ukuthi kuphasa ibudget. Make it sure after 3 months niyayimonitora ukuthi njengoba nizile namhlanje After 3 months you come back, angithi manje nizosivula amehlo. After 3 months manibuya, nibuya ninelungelo ukuthi nina matafula enzobe niwabekile abantu ba register babe ku database yenu. So that each and everything that is coming from the government ikwazi ukuthi nicheke ku database ukuthi Ward 79 nginabantu abangaka, Ward 80 nginabantu abangaka, and ithembisa idinga iproduct engaka. So mangahlanganisa lama ward lawo azokwazi ukuthi acover up ithembisa lapha. Other thing last, ngicela ukuthi kakhulu nismonitore ngamathenda aphumele emakhoneni. Ama pavement siyabona ayakhiwa. Abantu bakhona bahlali kuleyo section but bazokwenzela thina izinto. How come? Kusuka umuntu eNatal, kusuka umuntu eEastern Cape, kusuka umuntu eLimpopo, kusuka umuntu eVenda azosebenza umsebenzi ongabwenziwa yithi la. Sicela ukuthi makukhishwa amathenda ake kube pepenene njengoba nikhona nila. Enzelwe emehleni ethu sibhekwa noma sekuqashwa. Njengomsebenzi lo wokufaka nje ilokhozi. Lo msebenzi ofana njengama paving. Nomsebenzi thothi kwakhiwa izikolo kwakhiwa ama clinic. Angeni buyele back to square one, angithi nithi asifundile. Angeni nithi bonke abantu bafaka ama ID eboxini. Kubiza umntwana avundulule lapha kuzophela lobutsotsi nobugebengu bama comrade obenzekalayo. Abantu baxhashwe ebusuku ama CV ehamba ebusuku. So, sengiphetha bafowethu. Okubalulekile. Sicela nasembonini yabosomatekisi ningenelele. Ningenelele embonini yabosomatekisi because ama-taxi amaningi a-operator la uthothi abantu balana abanayo i-SS yok-operator just because abanayo le mali yokuyikhipha lapha. So nani kumele ningenelele nibe neso ukuthi ama-taxi a-operator in the right way. Akuyizinga lokuthi athwale abantu because kuningi okwenzakalayo. And anginibonge njengoba senifikile. Although ukuza kweni la ngiyajabula abantu base Davidton cha kusho ukuthi batshelwe kahle. La Ivory Park kusho ukuthi kuphumeselwe izinto emakhoneni just because abantu abaningi abanama business bahleli barana ama business abazi ukuthi nine nikhona la. Sicela ukuthi maniza next time nisebenzise i-announcement nakuma TV phela nenze leyo advert emani ndlula lapha mababuka generation. Just because nama council angeke basitshele ukuthi kunento esoyenzakala as like today. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Ngiyanibingelela igama lika Jesu Kristu. Amen. Ya wazwangiceda ubaba. Okay na into oqala la. Hey yazi puppetism ngamampela abashayela amabhunu asenza nje saba ama puppet wabo. Nangendlela esigavina ngakhona sigavina amanga. The first question bengifuna ukuchecka la ukuthi are we having the local leadership ezile nani la? Okay, ayikho. Alright, mhlambe nibheke ukuthi nizaphinde futhi nihlangane nayo ngenye makubuya ibhili nizohlangana nabo na angazi ke. But ke indaba la I'm a qualified uveli mnanzana lo good enough futhi igama lesilungu. I'm a qualified marketing manager, a qualified community developer. Siyabona vele ilontuzana amanye ama portfolio abekwa ngaphansi kwe community development. I community development is a key for everything. Siyabona nje bayibeka ngaphansi. Umuntu uthi umholi I community development mele ize phezulu bese okunye kuza ngaphansi. Kanjani ungayenza kanjani ukuthi ufuna ukudevelopa emphakathini? For instance athi sikhulume ngayi economy. Sikhuluma ngeeconomy manje wena awusondeza abantu ukuthi ucheke ukuthi mhlambe babheke ini. Mele usondeza abantu ukuthi babheke ini, angabe bafuna ini mayelana ne-economy. So ke into ezaphezulu ikhanda yini i-community development. So ke ngizalana kutheni ke na esiveza manje nangu masipala akekho lo osifailayo. Angekho manje lana siyakhuluma then kuya kuphi la? Siyayibonga iBill isavelile. Na ama question ke. Bengifuna ukuchecka la ukuthi after implementa le bill ane how will you complement and monitor this bill ne local municipality? Okokuqala lokho. Then sizwile ke kukhulunywa ngama unusable infrastructures. For instance, nezikolo thina la around. Ngomunye umuntu futhi osebenza ngeagriculture. Iagriculture asana ibase la ekhaya. Singana ibase kanje ezikolweni abo principal sicela ebhilini nisifakeleni ukuthi sibona ama activity ukuthi mhlawumbe agquma abantwana awekho and ibase isivulekile. Sicela kuBill ke ukuthi since bangafuni ukuthi mhlawumbe kube nama sports activity iagriculture ikhona ukuthi mabasitholele ibase within izikolo. And futhi vele ila makuthiwa sithi iagriculture iya promotewa ngabe kuya monitorwa down to ilontuzana local level. That's why bengifuna umasipala la ukuthi azosho ukuthi le space esisaziyo thina. I've been sitting down nama cooperatives ngiforma ama cooperatives more than 15 namhlanje aphelile awasekho we agriculture. Why? Ispace sithathiwe. Ngabe ihousing why nivumela ukuthi ithathe ispace se agriculture sidefendwa ubani lapho ukuthi agriculture space ihlale available. So sicela iBill isilwisele lapho ukuthi housing of government or local government isacela ukuthi iagriculture la Ivory Park masithi sifuna ukuyipromote or sithi mayibe khona makube available ispace sakhona. So ke into esicelayo kulo bill yenu sicela ukuthi drive out abantu abaku space se agriculture sifuna ukusebenza. Thank you.
Sanibonani. Ngiyabonga ngalesikhathi lesi kuningese hona igama lami kumina nawe. Suka lapha extension 10 Tsakani. Yimunye lo kuthengisa amazambane yonke into emarket. Manje mina ngicela ukukhuluma ngendaba ye business. Mina ni experience ye business. I'm a baker. Ngisebenza shop right 3 years, Spa 3 years. Mara ni prefer niyeke msebenze nisenzele ngezandla zami ngoba ne experience sami myself. So thina siyahluleka ukuzenzela sifuna ukulandela umunye emuva. Ngasi msebenzi ayiseko ngolesikhathi. Yeah, ngiyabonga.
Ra le khopela ya are mo fe chance le. Okay, continue.
Dumelang o ke Mahlomola from Davidton. Ne ke kopa re mamelaneng please. Are mamelaneng. Ke Mahlomola from Davidton. From ko Hot 32 Barcelona. So far nane kopa bua le bona ba legislature ba lukise dilo hantle. Ha ba tlo jala wa lukisa pele pleke ya hao ebe hantle. Babo jwana ngwana o tlo jala o so lukisa pele ntate gore ho loke makeisheneng ho be right. O tlo sebeletsa bana ba hore ba be right. Babo o ka se fe ngwana ko next door dijo sa fa ngwana o pele. Akere e jwalo. So ne re kopa hore ba legislature lukisang ke ye operation tutula eteng. If al khono lukisa re tla itukisetsa rona ma South Africa a ke tsebo re lankutlwa na yabo. So far hodima mo ne re kopa o tseba hore if budget ya tswa mo country ba di workers le tsona di na le yona budget na re kopa o butsa ntho eo yabo ka bana ha le ka ya mo re rekisetsang teng la yo bona go gaula bohlokwambe go haula ha bohlokwang ka re ke go magaeng le magaeng so le ngcono a ke tsebe ke tla re ke ko gae wa bona ntho jalo. So ne re kopa re le bue le Cyril Ramaphosa gore freedom e ya re fileng yona re sa e batla a e gutlisetse morao re batla go gutlela morao byanong se re gathetse ke yona freedom e ya bone ditshila ke ditshila ntho e ba re tlisitseng tsone yona. Awo mdula stulo Ke a leboha ntate, mara ke kopa hore o tsamaile makeishene kaofela. Hona no awayo kaofela, batho ba mo Eastern kaofela abayo mo kaofela. Le di councillor di tsebe next ka yona ntwe. Ne tshantse di be teng mo nthweng. Oh. So ne re kopa hore ntwe le advertising hantle le kenye le mo di media mo di TV mo hohle mo. Ke a leboha, thank you.
I'd like to greet everyone. Ke kopa gore re iketleng hanyane batho ba bagolo re faneng chance. Ntate o tshelo a re wa mafello o mo mafellong. Ene ke nna. So ke kopa gore le nna le mpheng chance. Ka bo ikokobetso.
Yeah, just finalize and then we get
Yes.
to
So,
the other side.
I think our biggest problem is, as South Africans, we are very compliant. The law is against us because everybody else, yes, we are Africans, we are brothers and sisters, but South Africa is the playground for everybody else that comes from outside. Because as South Africans, we do not have the right to do what we need to do for our own people. Our kids are struggling in school. Ever since COVID started, khona abantwana abaningi abangayi esikolweni ngoba abantwana bangena per week, per day, kuhlukahlukene. There are so many kids out there abangangeni isikolo. Abanye bayekisiwe isikolo because abothisha bafika esikolweni. Abazali abasebenzi, baphelele imisebenzi. So abazali manje baziqalela imisebenzi ukuthi bazokhona ukuprovide abantwana babo, but now we need to go for documents that are required. There are endless documents that we need to comply kuwo ukuthi thina sizokhona ukuthi amabhizinisi wethu abe right. For example, khona ibusiness hive eThwathwa. Leyo business hive leyo ikhishwa ngama connections ukuthi ubani waza ubani ngesikhathi sakabani makwenzakalana. Mina mangaya manje as a professional educator, a graduate from the University of Pretoria, ngiyahamba ngifuna ispace ukuthi ngiyoyenzela abantwana abangangeni isikolo laba babamisayo per week ukuthi babe ne shelter la bazokhona ukufunda khona. Khona abomama abayenza ama sanitary products. Ifunding yakhona imisiwe. Angazi mhlambe nesikhathi menstruation cycle iyama. Angazi if ugeza komuntu kuyama. So I understand ukuthi why kumele si go through amanye ama documents namanye ama documents ukuthi sizokhona ukusizana thina ezabantu abamnyama. There's so much that's going on emhlabeni wethu esinganawo, just by the way, because asinawo umhlaba. Baningi abantu abakhulumile lana bakhuluma ngokuthi there's no land. Khona babakhulumile ukuthi we are not going to make our businesses mid-air. So if athina asinawo umhlaba wokuthi sisebenzele kuwo, because I don't think ukuthi ukhona umuntu okhona lana o lazy ongana idea, an innovative idea that's going to create employment for those who are sitting at home. Wonke umuntu ohleli lana one business idea into afuna ukuyenza ukuthi azithuthukise yena, umndeni wakhe ne community yakhe yonke. So it's time for us to stand up for ourselves, because ngokuhlonipha okukhulu abantu abadala enhleli lapha phambili nasenzela ama documents maningi ama documents futhi asidida umqondo and asimoshela isikhathi, because ngimncane ngingaka angaza ingaka ama business engiwaqalile washabalala because non compliance. Because umambanibani ophethe lapha leya building leya akafuni ngayo ngoba mina ngirelate kuye and asazani mina naye. It's wrong. It's very wrong. So we need to stand up for ourselves, because nobody is going to save us. They're going to continue coming with different papers and documents, promising us so many things and change, but the change is within us. We need to stand up for ourselves. How many foreign nationals but ashile ma back room bayenza ama shops banama branches, nama franchise, nama shops. Yet we are sitting and waiting for another document that we need to comply on. We need to stand up for ourselves. Enough is enough. We never had freedom. We never had freedom because everything was digitalized. Yes, abazi abazosiqhekezela endlini zethu ngebhamu bazashela ukuthi ini mara ila enough is enough. Are emeng ka mauntu re iketsetseng ke lefatshe la rona lena re ka se dumele batho ba tswa ka ntle ba tla iketsetsa mo lefatsheng la rona. Enough is enough. Are emeng re berekeleng. Our kids are seeing so many things langaphandle as thusayo. Ziyathusa isn't it? I've seen so many kids. Baphethe amacan wotshwala. You know why? Because everybody is resorting to alcohol. They're resorting to alcohol because they're stressed. They're stressed because they're unemployed. They're unemployed because, well, COVID happened. And that seems to be the excuse for everyone these days, right? Okay, mara asiyenzi the excuse because we want to do something for ourselves. We try to do something for ourselves, they come with documents that we need to comply to. Documents as a foot. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I went to school for an education so that I can understand the system. But I know that the system does not favor us, black people of South Africa. It does not favor us. I am so tired of my people feeling like failures every single day. We are not stupid. We are not blind. We are not illiterate. Our ancestors gave us so much wisdom that they came and suppressed us. They suppressed us and made us feel like we are less. And now today, they are oppressing us again with documents because there are so many people that are illiterate. Illiterate in a sense of they cannot read. So, namhlanje umkhulu akakhona ukugcwalisa idocument. Mela acele umntana kuhambile esportini uyophuza ngoba umntana uphethe stress uphelele umsebenzi. Umshana ubukele lo ophelele umsebenzi. Who needs to be a role model? But because no role model uphelele yonke into. So it's a cycle and it continues and it continues. If you're not going to stand up for yourself, anya saltholizwe.
Yeah, and I'm sure these issues are serious issues. And thank you very much for that. And thanks for that. Let me just move this side. And let's try not to repeat, but I'm not going to suppress anybody. So I'm just going to note, but those who have got the mics, let's have one at the back, one will be here using this one, and then you assist me. The people that I'm noting, you mark them, so that at the end, we don't disadvantage people who have raised their hands. So there must be somebody who will be here, because I'm done this side, I'm going this side. Now I start counting, and then you must be with me. That is number one. Okay. Let's be clear. If you raise your hand, raise your hand. So that when I pass, don't come back. So I'm starting with number one. Then number two, number three, number four, number five, number six. That's five, number six. Then number seven, number eight, number nine. Yeah, there are going to be so many. Number 10. Then, no, number 10 is that one. Then you are number 11. Then number 12, 13, 14, number 15. But you're not going to repeat yourself. No? Because if somebody has spoken, like you have seen the issue this side, they were like repeating. Then we'll be here talking about one thing. and we understand the issues. So I end up at number 15. Now I'm moving on. Yes, I end up with you as number 15. Then number 16, number 17, number 18, number 19. Then I'm getting to 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, then 29, then 30, 31, 32. But let's become fair, ne? If you are covered, you are covered. Because at the end, we want to respond. I get there are issues that have been raised. Others are going to leave. And it will be pointless to respond to people who have left. So I've now up to number 34. Yeah, somebody can assist. There's no one at the back.
There's somebody.
Yeah? Yeah, let me start. Make sure that 1 minute. Otherwise, yeah, there is a suggestion. There is a suggestion. Even the mic. Sorry, before this one.
Hello. Through you, Chairperson, can I suggestion ya gore ha re re ba oppressor this side, but in tricky kopang, if a person utlwa gore o qalella taba e leng gore e se se tlhaisitswe ka, just cut him or her off. Thank you.
Where's another mic? Oh, yeah. Yeah, continue.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Don't move more than that.
Okay. Ke rata ho dumedisa batho ba botlhe ba tlileng mo. Ntate Chairperson, most of the things which I wanted to say, they've been covered. Se ne ke batla ho se bua ke hore ne re kopa hore in part of community development, bana ba e leng hore as mama buile hore ha ba kgone ho fetsa sekolo, ha o be le bursary because of batho ba tholang ba yang ko dikolong tse e leng hore ke community colleges, they need money to pay and some they can't access bursary. Bana ba e leng hore ba palla ko achieve their matric, anke le ba thuseng ka hore ba kgone ho study sa mmereko wa matsoho without any tšhelete o tlamehile ba e patele ko di-collegeng. The other thing, land ho boletswe ka yona, ne kopa make it easy. Dirile land ke ya rena e boa mo rona batho ba bantsho, ai boe back mo rena. The other thing, please government, fund us. We can't depend on public companies for funding. We need the government to step up. Thank you.
And thanks, let's take that example.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Tulani Shibore, and I'll just like to read a bit from page 5, the first paragraph. Section 9 of the Constitution guarantees the right of everyone to equal protection and benefit of the law, and empowers the state to undertake legislative and other measures designed to promote the achievement of equality by protecting and advancing peoples or categories of persons disadvantaged by unfair discrimination. In the business context, hence we are dealing with the township economy. In the business context, I'll take discrimination as, firstly, discrimination due to our financial incapability. If you are incapable financially, then already you are doomed in business. It is difficult to compete with other non-South African owned and non-licensed businesses, especially in the township economy. Because one challenge that we are facing as people in the township, we go out and work outside of the township, but when we get paid, the very first day through our malls and through the unlicensed businesses that are operating within the economy. Our money is already out of the township economy. And another point that I would like to actually emphasize on, I know this side emphasized a lot on the foreign-owned businesses. We have no regulations or no strict measures that addresses that issue. Most did highlight that the only people who are interested in addressing these shops are police, but their interest is for their benefit. So we would like an organization or something to be established and implemented whereby it will focus on going to these shops and checking their compliance, checking if these shops are licensed, and most importantly, I think we have seen a lot on social media where fake products have been designed. So we would like inspectors as well to go and actually look into what our people are being sold. So thank you very much, but for those that are licensed, let them operate. But those who are not licensed, by all means, we would like you to actually protect us, as you have said in the Constitution, section number 9. Thank you very much.
Sanibonani. Igama ngumzukisi phelile. Zawukhaleza kakhulu. Njaba nesicelo. Njengomuntu ongafundanga njengami. Sawucela iworkshop yoba yonke lento ilana nisizama ukuthi nisibonise ubheka. Sayithanda ibusiness basayicela iworkshop. 2 kunabantu abathi bahamba nani abalapha phakathi kwethu. Aba bekoleka imali kwabantu bathengisayo. Ndicela ubungabe izimali zizapha kuni kwazi masiyaphe izimali babe zikoleke ebantwini. Ndiyabulela.
Dumelang, lebitso la ka ke Gladys wa Moloi. Ke morekisi wa ko Kotleng under Thutugane. Number 1 ke kopa hore baetapele mole re kopaneng because there's a project that's being called Kasi Economy. But monyako azange wa buleha. Mzwandile na ukwetsi. Sa bobedi ke kopa hore molao ha o nke sebaka sa ona. Let the metros clean up more rekisetsang teng because akere re bitsa di street vendor, di hawkers, di ing. Re kopa respect because re tellwa ke batho ba senang ditokelo re na le ditokelo. I'm not being xenophobic, but the person that is in this country illegally, o tshwereng permit ya sekolo, o tshwereng what you call it ntwe ya mesebetsi ya fraud. Ke kopa le ba tlose allegation because re patala tšhelete tsa di permit and then they throw it back at us ba re etsa hiandla mali kufana na ngwena ingakela nga nthomo. E bohloko ho nna tje ka setsofadi nna I'm a pensioner but ke tlo shwella strateng ke kopa le ilukise. Ya bobedi ke kopa le riele ho GEP le SIDA ko GEP le re batlele thami isale anka di application. We have never received those funding. The financial year nabile ka yona ifitile, the other one ifitile re kopa re ska ba bapala ka rona. We do want funding re yentse everything. Sub or land is a kibuile ka yona re tlo re thusa. Another one ke exploitation ya di taxi organization ya transport exploiter the hawkers. Could there please be drawn a line of demarcation? We have a problem as we speak ko Katlehong. Ho butse di taverne ho rekiswa majal and all those people are illegally. They're selling everything they want but now we can't. Joala bona ki borekiswa papa ka serera mogekane vieni. Yela better plan mark. And then harelwanile anyone. Kwa di permitting we itswe South Africans first priority. ha re apply. And ho bohloko rona as street vendors, re a o mamela molao. And then as asylum seekers, but they are also problematic, the asylum seekers. They are now selling stalls for 6,000 rand, basa patala cent. How do you deal with that? Can you please come to our rescue? And then, re kopa le rona le re feng sebaka tje ka barekisi ba strateng, we want to grow. Re tseba ho pheha, re tseba ho etsa everything. But you don't consider us ko di meeting tsa lona. You always leave about baholo di business. How do you expect a black woman to grow? Hasa fuwi munyeta or atoli caterela le bona or capability teng na ke a lebo. Oh, before sorry, sekile buile. I'm disappointed. You started very late. You were unorganized. You better correct yourself next time when you come here.
George Ratswana, Nafkoke Kuruleni Chairperson. I'm raising 3 issues. One among other issues that I'm trying to raise here, it's the actual economy that our government is doing to us. The question is this a mixed economy or an economy that seeks to empower the community? Can I get clarity? The reason why I'm asking the type of economy that we have in South Africa is because of, allow me to make an example about China. You see, China today is a superpower when it comes to its economy. It's because of, after the Second World War, China concentrated in building the small, medium enterprises. They were not confused. Now in South Africa, we've got so many economies that are trying to talk to big business, that are trying to talk to small business, the middle business and stuff like that. Can South African economy, in particular in Gauteng, as you are presenting Tate Mopapa this bill, can we be clarified what kind of an economy are we looking at? I'll be happy if you can adopt the model of China to concentrate in building the small medium enterprises. That is number one. Number two, that I want to bring it. Number two, that I want to point it to all of us, Abahwebi, in this hall. Bengicela ukuthi homework here to all of us. Can we start to work together, Abahwebi? Ngicela sithandaneni, please, after this session. Black business, can we love each other just for once and stop blaming our government? There's so much that they can do, but there's a lot that amongst ourselves we can do. You know, the reason why Ngukhuluma kanjalo is because of there are so many forums, there are so many chambers. One of the issues that the bill is presenting, they are saying they are going to establish a board of directors in different areas so that some of the programs can correctly be implemented. But are we ready for that? Or immediately masibaza ekhlalieni sizocala sikhwampane ngifuna uba director sesikhohliwe ukuthi by the way these things are coming to us and it's not everybody who's going to be at the board of directorship. So that's why I'm raising this issue to say, can we love each other? I'm happy within the bill they are saying they are going to capacitate us. That becomes important to us. Uguti, at long last, Gauteng government, you are recognizing the most important stakeholders, which is AMA business organizations. The last one, Chairperson, that I want to raise, it's an issue of funding. Hey, silimele bantu benkosi, yo. Funding. Can you go back or include the consecutive banks, whether it be ABSA, They need to come to the party because you like it or not, government, you can't do it alone. At the end of the day, you're going to need these banks. They must come on board. So that would be my last point, Chairperson. Otherwise, we're happy of the bill. We're really going to support you, but make sure that you move very fast. The last one that becomes important, it's the management part of it. Can we really champion? Somebody said monitoring and evaluating on the programs, the beautiful programs that you are bringing to us, but can they be correctly implemented? Amen.
Sanmanani, Kamala Murifila from Waterfall. Ngisacela ukukhuluma nge-financial management. Mina ngisacela ukuthi sifundiswe nge-financial management. Esikolweni or in high school, masiqeda kuthola imali from amafa or something from abazali bethu asikwazi ukwakhipha as a youth. Siyahluleka and sihluleka in a way that asikwazi uku-investa first of all. Asikwazi ukuba nama-business wethu because aya-collapse because asazi ukuthi senzeni ngemali. If ngiqala ukwenza 1,000 ngiyayiqeda. So ngicela ukuthi sifundiswe lokho. Number 2, kunomama phambili okhulume ngesikolo ukuthi ikolo akuna ikolo is enough ama-bazaar and everything. From 2019 I've been opening a learnership. Mangivula i-learnership ngithi ngifuna ukuthi ngizoyenza alone. I was born in Tembisa, not ukuthi ngihlale Waterfall because I was born in Tembisa. So ngiyazi ukuthi after matric kuba nzima kanjani ukuthi uhambe uyofunda. So I opened a learnership. Mangifuna ifunding kusitha nge-learnership yami, by the time ngifika phezulu ubaba omdala uzongibamba so athi kimi, I brush your back and you brush mine. What is that? So ngicela ukubuza ukuthi from me to get to that point yokuthi nami ngisize i-youth ifunde. I'm a project coordinator by profession. So ngifuna ukuthi i-youth nami ngikwazi ukuthi ngisize ifike lapho. Let there be learnerships. Ama-learnerships athatha 1 year 6 months, right? Imagine getting 2.5 or 4,000 per month for you to walk to school. If it's isikolo sakho sizoba eholweni and then you get 4,000, awusizi endlini. Uyasiza endlini, uyathenga impuphu endlini, uyakwazi ukuthi at the end of the month umama akasogoli ukuthi uhambile wayo eme-taxi rank the whole day wabuya ngo-20 rand, right? So I need that ukuthi can I get doors? Can you please tell me which doors to knock at so that ngingathola bobaba ukuthi njalo bafuna ukusibrasha to say hey and then ugcina ucollapsile, ugcina unganayo ilona. Sengiyeki nokuyeka i-learnership yakhona because I don't know what to do anymore. Another thing is NPO yami, I need to give back to the community. So also that I need a door to knock at. Ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani mphakathi. Igama umncedisi Terence Buthelezi from Grace Flatela Ntatempapa Chairperson from your zone. Grace Flatela Kofos Loras. Now my question Ntatempapa is that we need your support in that zone as our MP or someone who's there in the offices, so that we can betterly utilize the resources so that they say charity begins at home. So Ntatempapa, let us find you, Kozonungyarona and other zones. Let you be and your committee there be available in all zones so that we can access whatever that you are presenting or whatever you have, so that we can grow as the nation. But mine, I think, other issues were covered, but I just want to get to the nitty-gritty of it, because it was just presented, but people will outline to the latter. I think there's an issue at these spicer shops, it's at the so-called Pakistans or so forth. We find it very difficult that in Papa that there was a program, I think it was during COVID, where these spicer shops, they were found to their products that are being sold in the shops, they don't meet the SAPS standards. So can we get inspectors like previously when they were working there were inspectors before, the environmentalists that used to inspect the shops. They would come and check the products that are sold on the shelves, or are they consumable to human consumption? Are they properly aligned so that we can eat them or to be sold? Because some of these products you see on media now, they've been advertised with the sweetie, kiddie drugs, and some of these things are killing our children and so forth. So we find it very difficult. So please, guys, can you assist us? We know that these guys, some of these guys, they don't meet the standards and they don't comply. They don't have the certificates that in the bill you have talked about, that the certificates must sit there at the shop. Because you go to taverns and ship-ins, you'll find people, they've advertised their certificates that they comply. Let's see them. Let's also have confidence so that our people, when they come, because this thing, our people were told previously to open cooperatives so that they can be supported to have spicer shops and so forth. Many people went to cooperatives and they were not supported in terms of getting funds and so forth. So please, let's get into that so that our people start to begin to have confidence in our government that it works and so forth. And another item is that of a PFMA, the Management Financement Act, in terms of governance, that section, monitoring and evaluation. Please, guys, that section, implement it, because most of the things, the projects and so forth, and the money that comes out, the finance to projects or that seek to assist our business people or so forth. If a lot call your officials, it doesn't come down, or it goes to their girlfriends and so forth and not benefit our people. But please let that come down so that our people, they find expression in that. Lastly, in Tatempapa, there was this program, industrialization. It never happened. So please, in Tatempapa, let's have things to be implemented so that our people can be supported. That program, all the time by our premier, but it ended somewhere else. We don't know who got those capacity, baleba capacity and so forth, because Gauteng and the Kuruleni are the industrial hubs. They contribute millions or billions of rands in the South African economy. So let that money, but barunaba benefit. It can't be that our people are unemployed and they are not finding expression in businesses and so forth. But thank you, Ntatempapa. I had many points, but I'll sit down in light of respecting other speakers and so forth. Thank you.
Yeah, and let's try to be shorter. And we want to supply lunch, but we want to finish first. And it will be very difficult. So let's move and then be to the point. Yeah, you are on the floor.
Sanbonani, mina ngumata wakamakhubela ngihlala la Ivory Park. Mangakhuluma sekunama CK amaningi esiwayenzile. Siyenza ama CK left and right. And siyahamba siyowabhatalela ePitori. Uthola ukuthi asinamali siboleke siyoyenza ama CK. Asiyenzanga iCK A1, siyenze ama CK amaningi. Asitholi uxhaso ku-government. Noma kukhona umuntu onolwazi okhona ukustraina, let's say astraine ukuthi siyenze ini. Uyastraina lo muntu loyo, maqeda lapho asazi ukuthi isitifiketi siyosithola kuphi. Saleyo training leyo besiyenza. Uthola ukuthi bathi okay, sifuna umuntu ozofaka i-paving. Uyitrainile leyo nto uyayazi. Bakutshele ngesitifiketi. Uzoyaphi mayofuna leso certificate leso. enye into ukuthi size senze ama-CK umthetho wala eSouth Africa mafuna umsebenzi bathi over age lo over age kusho ukuthi masocala uthi 40 something uya bathi over age umangalo ukuthi lo over age ngoba umasipali ufuna irent kule over age le ehleli engasebenzi ukuthi siyoyitholaphi ngoba sithi sizama amabhizinisi awaphumeleli namabhizinisi wakhona ngoba masingabheka eParliamente yonke indawo mangabheka wena nge-age umncane bona badala mara bayasebenza.
Raleboga, the next one.
Ngiyazibulisela mphakathi. Igama lami ndingubulelwa Ntobela ndiphuma eBoksburg kwaWard 33. Indaba yomhlaba yona noba siyathanda noba asithandi masingayibalekeli ngunobangela wayo yonke lenhlupheko sikuyo ngoba okokuqala yonke into iqala emhlabeni. Ndibonge nje nethuba siliphiweyo ba ke sizophiwa nje igreen light uba izinto zihamba kanjani. Yona yinhlungu uyayivula ikhampani awufumani umsebenzi ngapha unama penalties kwa SARS ngekhampani engazange yafumana nomsebenzi uhleli ayisebenzi kodwa ngapha eSARS so unezikologo yinhlungu yethu leyo. Okwesibini ndizochaphazela la issue eyendaba edibene nokuba maku-occupy izikolo due to inhlungu yethu singenandawo yokuhlala apho ndisuka khona mna indawo yesikolo bekuyijarati yanikwa abahlali ngoba banandawo yokuhlala one of them ndihlala etoilet yeso sikolo. Inhlupheko esinayo ifreedom thina ayikho kuthi ayikho siyayibukela nje siyanicela tata khake nibezizibane ke nisidevelope sidinga ukwakhiwa make kwakhiwa indonga zeJericho ziwile sakheni sivuleleni iminyango masingahlupheko olhlobo kodwa siyavota nyaka nonyaka siyavota kodwa inhlupheko iphezulu kwamagxa wethu sanusiyekelela olhlobo sihluphekile siyavukuzela ngaphakathi emimoyeni angisathethi ngabantwana bethu umntana uthethe wavokotheka bayafunda sibafundisa nzima ndithengisa estrateni ndithwala idish ndithengise estratweni ndenzela abantwana bami ndiyi-single parent khani sicingeleni ndiyabonga.
Yeah, let's move. We are now getting to number 10. Continue.
Na cancer. Ngiyabonga. Isikhathi ngisiphiwe. Nikesa nkarolo ninganikwa wona aningeleyi ngopfu.
Awutlwali, just put it closer, yeah.
Yeah, ningona cancer aningeleyi ngopfu niyokhumbeka andaweni yo karhi yi nga ya tikhampani leti hi nga na tona tingo bolela atindlwini ta hina. Kuma leswaku la hi nga kona la hi tshama kona mina vito ni Daniel Maswanganyi ni usuka aka Ivory Park South Business Forum ni xandla xa matsalani kona kwele. Lexi ni khumbeke ngopfu I timhaka ta mintirho kumbe ti-project leti taku la aka ndhawu ya hina. Ti fika aka ndhawu ya hina hi ndlela ya vukungundwani. La hina hi ngo hina tikhampani hi nga swi tivi ho hlamala ku sunguliwa ku tirha. Lexi vavisaka ngopfu hi lexiwani aka mina. A va ta tirha swi nga ri na probleme kambe ntsena loko a va tlhela va endla ntirho lowu nga kahle. Vanhu lava ni vulavulaka hi vona I tikhampani leti taku from outside Ni twile vanhu vo tala va vulavula hi vanhu vo fana na ma-Pakistan, they are from outside, ku nga ma-foreigners. Kambe na kona kwala kaya hi nga kona. Ku na vanhu lava va hi deletaku hi nga swi voni. Vanhu lavawani ni vula hi vanhu lava nga na tikhampani va ngo vona va na ti-grade ta le henhla. Na ku qachana hi vunghana. Xivutiso xa mina hi lexiwani. Hina hi nga na ti-grade ta le hansi hi ya kula rini loko vanhu va karhi va qachana hi vunghana. Lexi ni vavisaka ngopfu hi lexiwani. Loko va karhi va qachana hi ndlela yaleyo, va fika va nyikana mintirho kona kwala allocation ya hina. Va tlhela va nga endli ntirho lowu nga fanela. Lava mina ni va vitanaka ti-vultures. Va fika va teka mali ya hina va famba na yona. Va nga endlanga nchumu allocation ya hina. Loko u ta aka switarata swa hina, u ta kuma leswaku loko ku na mpfula, i machivi a switarateni. Kasi a va ri kona va te ku tirheni, a va endlanga nchumu. Mina lexi ni xi kombelaka aka n'wina hi lexiwani. Hina la andeni ka lokixi ya hina. Hina vanhu lava nga na vutivi swinene loko swi ta aka timhaka ta tikontraka. Hina vanhu lava akaku, hina ti-plumbara, hina vanhu vo penda va endlaka mintirho leyi hinkwayo. Hi kombela leswaku mintirho loko yi huma kwele yi huma kona aka government. Most of the time hi kuma mintirho yi ta yi huma aka JRA, yi ta yi huma aka Johannesburg Water. Va ta na vanhu va vona from nowhere lava hi nga va tiviku. And then at the end of the day, va fika va nga endli ntirho lowu nga helela. Hi kombela mi nyika hina hi nga na tikhampani letitsongo kwala allocation ya hina. Ni vulavula leswiwani hikuva ni un'wana loyi a nga na khampani na mina se yi ngo bola andeni ka yindlu. Ntirho a wu le ku kumekeni. Ntirho wu kumiwa hi vanhu lava taku from outside our location or our community. Shana amnge hi tsanda kwihi ku hi nyika ntirho hina vinyi va ndhawu ke. Ku hi kota ku endla leswi nga fanela. Ku tlula ku siya magoji all over la location ya hina. Vana va hina va wela lo magojini kuva munhu o ta a ta teka mali a famba. Because anga tshami kona kwalano, anga endli swo helela. Uri yena na teka na famba. And it is true. So ni ngo vula ku a ni nge lehisi ngopfu a ni yo khumbeka nyana ngopfu kwalano ku leswi swi nga ku humeleni lawani a hi swona. Hi nyikeni ntirho hina yona experience la ndeni ka lokixi. Ku na vanhu lava va nga na vutivi. Hi kombela ku mi hi nyika ntirho hi endla hi lunghisa lokixi ya hina. Hi lunghisa ndhawu ya hina. Mi nga hetiseli vanhu lava hi dyelaka mali va famba. Ku va vula hi 30%, 40% ta community. Mali ya leyi va famba na yona hi nga yi vonangi. Va nga helangi va hi pfuni nchumu la ndeni ka lokixi. Please, n'wina mi nga kwele mahlweni, hi kombela mi hi pfuna.
Yeah, just move to the, yeah. But those who have been noted.
Yeah, this is Godfrey Stanley Mukwena. You see, le bill le, right kakhulu le, yinhle kakhulu. Kodwa manje ni implementa kanjani Mr. Masha? Makhona ma-Pakistani ngoba nikhuluma ukuthi kune price regulation. I-price regulation isho ukuthi the standard of prices must be the same. Ngingathengi airtime nge-10 rand, kodwa iPakistan lingibize 10 rand 50. You understand? iPakistan lingangibizi 10 rand 50. We understand? Mangithenga nge-10 rand kumakhelwane South African, a voter ingithengisela nge-10 rand. Bese a foreigner uzongithengisela nge-10 rand 50. And mobola lama 50 cent lawo. Wakamamkhulu, umntanami, wakababa, nase next door same, sithenga kule mayingaki lama 50 cent. Ayahamba awekho text. You understand? Uthatha imali yakhe njengoba injalo uyahamba. Yes. That is why usisi ushilo lo wathi le bill leli lihle mara liqindezela umuntu omnyama, liqindezela a very same voter. Yes. Ama firms wama Pakistan, They are trending all over la kuma media. And niyabona. Yes. But bazakhela izinto ama products that don't go through SAPS standards. Les bowuziso Mr. Mash. Nothing is happening. Ubhekela uloku demonstrate isigqoko zakhe. Uyaphansi phezulu. Ugugile man. Old age. Yes. Uyawazi lama firm agcwele la all over. Akha ama products wabo. Yes, bazothengisa la yini malokishini. Abulala abantwana bethu. Uyayizwa leyo nto. Yinto ekufanele nichaze ukuthi manje sosebenza kanjani amaPakistan asaphila la. AmaPakistan athatha imali yawo njengoba injalo. Non taxable. Ahamba nayo njengoba injalo. Mara wena uyi-South African uyayi-taxa. Ufuna ukuthi i-comply. U-insista nge-compliance. Makashule Ghana. Suman matot. We need young people in parliament, not lama ketla kukila bo enji mutseg. Baphelela amapladi. Thank you.
Sanbonani. Mina ngumava matatiya listening. Buya khona le matatiya. La ngibuya khona. Yeah. Bengicela ukubuza mina malunga nama permit. Ngoba zona lezi ziphaza shop esizivula esizibanga namagula. Ama permit aswanikwa. Sihamba kulesigokho icathula kula umasipala bethu la. Ama permit wethu awaphumi. And then umakhelwane lo sikhuluma ngayo ePakistan uyayiphuma yena yakhe permit uyayithola. But mina umuntu wala ekhaya lutho. Ayiphumi total. Ize yafika iCovid-19 la savalelwa amashop sahlala. Tho ipermit kwavulwa kwathi abantu bebevalile kufanele bazo apply. Si apply ngantini. Ngoba sivaliswe phela sangasebenza. Because of ama permit aswanikwa. Ngicela indaba yama permit please guys. Indaba yama permit etaxini permit ayiphumi, emgaqweni permit ayiphumi. Lonto nje idayisayo ipermit ayiphumi government. Ma efika lapho uyakubopha uyamiyeka lo omakhelwane. Abengenayo ke nokuba nayo yena. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get next. And then I create my Pakistani requile, ne? Yeah, I'm sure we had it. Thank you.
Angmonge. Igama ngulove gap Sibusiso Kebashe. Yebo, ngisuka la Ward 79 I'm a deputy chairman ye ward-based business forum. So aphansi kwesikasindiswa amagaqa le. Zingokeli angibonge sibonge kakhulu i-initiative ye committee yenu as economic development. And we hope ukuthi this time around we're not going to speak to the deaf ears. Sizokhuluma nabantu abazosizwa basihloniphe bezwe ikhalo zethu and then babuye basi-implement esiyibona. All along besiloke bengiloke ngiyibuza ukuthi what they call township economic revitalization. Ukufika kwenu today kuyi-answer bengiloke ngithi all along besithala sikhuluma nama-officials but singaboni any action, but this gathering here today it's an answer of what we've been saying to other officials. Hoping ukuthi sizobona implementation yenzeka. Ibill yenu it really talks what we are looking for. Yonke. You everything you've answered our questions ebesihlala sinawo nama concerns. Sicela ukubona implementiwa. Angiphinde ngibonge also ekuruleni. Nduna zami sabahlali bala eIvory Park. Kubalekile ukuthi siveze embarrassment to our leaders that are based. Sizothola this gathering without seeing any of our councillors. I mean, it's an embarrassment, give me. as a participant, a politician kule ndawo. Sibone nina bengekho noyi-one wabo. Ngibonge owasekuthembisa mangaba sethembisa ukukhuluma nge-BRT. This gathering is kunekuthi kune-BRT funding. Thina la e-Ivory, we were not informed about that. Thank you, whoever wenze ukuthi this gathering is la e-Ivory Park. Sicela i-SGP nisibhekele i-SGP eyikoleni. Amanye ama-SGP a-capture eyikolo business-wise, schools development-wise. Kune-school capture by the SGPs. Okugcina, but not least, sirana ama-companies aswarani siyawa owner. Swa-ownela from clouds because we don't have facilities where we can operate our businesses from. Thank you.
Ndiyabulisa kuwe Tata uMashe nesigqeba sakho kulo tafile. Lo uthethayo ngunomfundo sisuka eCommittee kwaWard 33. Siqale sibonge qala kuma coordinators asiphele nxaxheba uba sizobuza imibuzo apha kuni. Tata kulomqulu usinike wona apha. Uphawule into ethi funds must be provided affordable. Ndicela ukwazi Tata mba lo affordable sithetha ngamalini apha. Ngoba ndithetha ngam ndine company ufumane itender ungabi na capital xa unkonkoza kwaSida kuthiwa iza nezinto zakho ube uyiphethe iproof ye order but okay siza kunceda xa ufuna bakuncede baxela into yokuba le company yakho ayikaze isebenze izosebenza njani. Uhambe uye ebhankini uyofuna nansi odwa uyiphethe ufumene umsebenzi kufika kuthiwa ebhankini sisi unayo na imoto okanye indlu esakhabe siyibamba xa sikunika le mali. Ndiyacela Tata uzuhambe uthi uphuma kule uhambe undiphendule ba lo affordable imali engakane sithetha ngayo apha ofuna usinike yona enkosi.
Molweni ndiyabulisa. Mna ndingu-Andiswa waseCommittee ndi-youth kodwa ke noba ndingene endaweni wrong. Ndicela ukucela kuqala isicelo. Sisicelo. Cela Tata undimamelisise kakhulu. Tata uMasha. Cela undimamelisise. Ndisuka le eCommittee siyahlupheka kakhulu. One abantwana baseCommittee ababancinci bayakwazi ukujive umzekelo. Sike sathi siyazama asazi ba kuqonqozwa phi. Thina pha eCommittee shem asinalo ulwazi totally. Yabona mongakuye ngokweCommittee ungakhala wena kuqala. Uyabona kune crash, icrash zethu noba zi3 kuphela. Bayavuka bayi3. And okwesibini thina sinama shop made by 3 yiyo qha ibusiness esinayo eCommittee. Asinayo enye kuthiwa ibusiness. So bengicela ukubuza ba njengathi lutsho umzekelo mina ndike ndafuna ukuvula i-internet cafe neCommittee. Andazi into ithatha apha imali andisebenzi ndisafunda. So bengicela ukubuza ukuthi mangaba ufuna ukuvula thina sisafuna ukuyivula ibusiness ingaba sizobenefita na kule bill and sizogeyiphi indawo ekumele siye kuyo at least imani ngashiyela amanamba ukuthi sizoyapi thina singekabi nawo ama-business sazi ukuthi kuvulwa kuphi sizoyithola nayo nale bill. Thank you.
Obvious. Sanibonani Dumelang. Okay, Chair, thank you very much. My name is Sidney Munaise. I'm the chairperson of an organization that is called Greater Midrand Business Chamber that has been existing for almost 2 years now. First, let me thank you for bringing all of us from Davidton to Tembisa and Ivory Park under one roof, because it is quite clear our problems are the same. So we need each other, like the brother was saying there. We need to deal with this issue here. When I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, Horko Davidton, things are right. And the people of Davidton thinking, Hormo Timbisa, things are right. Nothing is correct and right. Chair, I must emphasize, it can't be 20 years or more than 20 years down the line and only then you come in with a bill like this. 20 years. It's only now you are coming with a bill like this. So from where I'm sitting, you are very, very late. But I'm excited about the bill. And we are standing here to support the bill. And the last time I was excited about a bill like this, it was with an NHI. And today we don't even know where the NHI is. And I'm hoping this bill is not going to be the same. NHI. I was hoping it's not a bill. Actually, you are going to tell us what you are going to do. But it seems we still need to input first for this to be a bill. Chair, let me just read through what I've noted here. Because Chair, the ownership of malls. Yes, I understand that the rates and everything so that our people can be able to have stores and shops called malls. But who owns these malls? Our people must at least own 30% to 50% of these malls. We can't have malls that we don't know who are owning them. They are sitting over Branston and over Santin. And now we are here being consumers. So we need our people to own part of the malls. There should be a product or that must be reserved for our people locally here. It can't be right or shop right or pick and pay. It can't be right. Mautwana and all these other things must be left for our people by the Mohara Township. So they must book Cambridge, those things must be out of their shelves so that our people can be able to Mautwana. You know, the business, the cooperatives, it's failing almost every time somebody registers a cooperative because it's the most difficult business and it's not supported. And when you are saying we must cluster some businesses so that they can produce 1 million bread and all that, I get worried because we've got cooperatives, they are not supported. So why will you support this one or let's go support the cooperatives? So I'm not in support of that, Chair. Chair, the mentoring and the training. Most of the people, you know, the registration document, but it's a business, but business. Can't is sitting with just paperwork. So we need mentoring. Our people must be mentored because some of them, they've been forced by circumstances to go into this thing of business. And they were forced by our government to say, no, you must also employ yourself and all that and all this. And now we are stuck with a whole lot of people who are in the business papers, but it's business. So we need mentoring. The issue I recognize that the forums, that one is long overdue. I will recognize that the forums and everything else, it's long overdue. You know, the MEC used to call us strong men, we messed up 30%. I'm worried what will be his approach because the attitude towards business forums and all the other organizations was very bad. Actually, we shouldn't be here if we were recognized when the time was right to recognize us. If we were recognized 10 years ago, we'll be talking a different story. So I'm hoping definitely you are going to recognize and work with us. Issue the board members I support. SARS and this 4IR thing, everything is digital. Our people are battling. Issue SARS and everything being digital. Some of our people don't even have these phones. They need to connect. Data are the issue are the panels, especially Togo province. Our people need to know about these panels. They must be being kept for a selected few. And that is why the money is. I get worried because our people must go over chicken on the ground, by the agriculture. But you're not telling them about all these millions that are sitting, that are being given to companies that are on the panels. So we need our people to be given that opportunity. It's difficult to get on those panels, so we need your help. Chair, Hunali di Kolo, Hunali di Clinic, Hunali di Police Station, those ones I know only under the province. Let's do things simple. Clinic ileko ebon, let but wako ebon supply clinic yako ebon. Just for start. The other PPE, you don't need to be a master who supply the mask. Give locals an opportunity. Let us supply the police stations, some police are law now, so that we can have good relationship with these people. So Chair, once again, there's this aspect that when people are tendering Koko province, they must bring at least 3 or 4 SMMEs. A lot of our people don't even know that thing. So these people are taking their friends or their sub companies and putting them as part of the SMMEs ever tenderangayo. So Hemutola tender 200 and something million. It's still the same person. So our people don't know. Information is very, very important. The last one, Chair, crime. You can tell us to have businesses and everything, but these people was the idea. They are taking from our people, and our people cannot recover once it's from board. So please, incorporate the issue of crime when you deal with that. But all in all, we support the bill, and we'll be eagerly waiting to hear. And we support what the brother said today. From Tembisa to Davidton, can we work together so that we are able to monitor you? Thank you very much.
Dumelang. Le guy. Arti. Yeah, man. I got few points, but they've been mentioned. I'll just emphasize. Maybe few, probably it's not more than 3. But most importantly, I raise again. Issue very, very important. Issue implementation. I want to do for the whole year, but government implementation. And I'm sure you are aware of it. If you are not going to implement whatever you're going to bring, and this document is very excellent, but when it comes to implementation, guys, Larissa fast. That's why fast, because we talk and talk and talk. We've been talking for the last 20 years. When it comes to implementation, I want to talk what is that our government is doing? Can you change that? Sometimes maybe just come and implement something and inform us when it's going, when the train is going. Maybe that will be something else. Because we've been talking for too long. Maybe yabo fellow key issue ya monitoring. I mean, monitoring, if we are not going to have, somebody has said it, but I'm just emphasizing, as I said. If we are not going to monitor what we are saying, what people are saying, we'll be wasting time. Which means, because if really anything have to happen, you need to have structures on the ground. People who are going to make it a point, whatever is going to come is going to be implemented the way it's supposed to be. If you are not going to have such structures, otherwise, the very, very last one. When it comes to the service providers, why should we use one company that is going around? It moves from here, Tembiza, the one company. Why should you do that? And most of these companies, they're not actually doing the job. They're using people local. Why don't we just give these people local? That's another thing our government, they operate around. Because they don't have faith in us, but when they want vote, they come to us. You see? This is embarrassing, my leadership. Can you change things going forward, please? Thanks.
Sanbonani. My name is Thompson Baloyi. Ngibuya eKalfontein. Ngazalelwe eTembisa. Ngaba indoda ngathola umuzi eKalfontein. Mr. Chairman, and your leadership, all protocols observed. Mina ngifuna ukukhuluma ngento ehambayo. I-government yethu ingifeyilile personally. If uhlala e-Ivory Park, eBoni, or la eTembisa, if wazi indawo bathi kusebhizi khona, kune-stand ese-opposite busy corner, namhlanje sekunemikhuku. That stand, it's a commercial stand, bese under ibambanani. That stand, the owner, Itwala Motors, which I represent, we have spent millions in trying to develop a filling station and a motor city out of that stand. Due to COVID and all that, there were delays here and there. But namhlanje, I can tell you ukuthi enye into yasibulala government, but umhlaba now, it's a commercial land, but that land is not even registered at its office. In a ERF, it's not even subdivided. I want to take this opportunity to educate umphakathi. Ungachazwa kuthiwa i-government izokunika umhlaba. Ayikunike umhlaba which is developed and registered at its. How do you go to an investor and say, nginomhlaba, ngifuna uzowakha i-mall, noma i-filling station, noma i-clinic or isikolo, ungana that deeds certificate, so that number is now in your name or company. Namhlanje, we've managed with our own monies to register that land into Twala Motors. But maso ubuya, so uthole imikhuku. Kunobubanibani, umadala Jack, sekumhlaba wakhe, uthatha ama 5,000 ebantwini bafaka emkhukwini. We are now moving back and forth to Emma courts. We now have to be going to High Court to remove people standing, say to the oil company is waiting to build a filling station, which will benefit you and me and my children. I've got 9 years working on that land. I'm supposed to start building next month. I've got people that I must remove. And now I'm told I must go get an eviction letter. Emhlabeni wethu, from a high court. Who's paying that? Mina bengicela before nahamba bahlonipheki, ngicela ninginike umuntu ongizoya kuye angitshele ukuthi i-Department of Housing iyenzani umsebenzi wayo. Ngicela ukungashoni leya filling station ingakabi khona, otherwise siyobuyela ehlathini ma comrade. Ngiyabonga.
Good evening, Chairperson, community, all protocols observed. My name is Mordecai Sizolenkosi Ndlovu. I am the Deputy Secretary of PPF, Progressive Professionals Forum. We are in full support of this bill, and we have made recommendations and comments through its inception. My part here is just to add on one point, the objective of the Act. One concern that I feel as if has not been emphasized is the high unemployment rate. The National Youth Policy needs to address this matter, and I would like to ask our officials if there could be a recommendation or an input or a line that speaks to youth employment, which can be integrated to the National Youth Policy, and also the strategy plan. I believe that this can open up doors to employment for our youth in the community, but as well as entrepreneurship initiatives. Thank you.
What line is this? Okay. Thank you, Chairperson. I think, Chairperson, my name is Veli. We are speaking one thing, all of us. that you are not happy about how things are happening. That's what you are saying. But Chairperson, I want to say that the problem that you are not implementing, as Mfuetu was saying. There was a structure that was called GIDU. I don't know whether you remember it. It's Gauteng Economic Development Unit. That was coordinating between municipality and the province, where they were sitting executive members of parliament and municipality, where they used to take decision, all of them. Because if I see this bill, we are still going to consult your municipalities in terms of implementation, and it will waste time.
Sorry, can you say, what is that?
GIDU.
GIDU.
Yeah, Gauteng Economic Development Unit. It was established mainly to coordinate affairs of municipality and the province. It was making the life easier in terms of implementing the policies, the bylaws, and the bills. Now we are still going to engage with the municipalities, of which we are not sure, because in Johannesburg you are governed by the DA, in Ekurhuleni, so you are not talking the same language. So it will take long to be implemented. That's what you need to check, Chairperson. Number two, Chairperson, there are associations. For instance, you have your FASA, it's Franchise of South African Association. That makes turnover viable, 860-something million, close to billion per annum. And IFASA, it is them who are owning Abu Steers, you are Kentucky, you are Nando's and others. Hilaba aba occupier indawo ema-malls. And yithi inyanga mayiphela sigcwala kulezi ayitoro siye ukusupport ama-business wethu. That is why labantu laba in return they will make imali engaka. Mari problem ukuthi government yethu also inama program ukuthi abantu bakithi ba own ama franchises, but uma uya kulawo ma offices lawo they don't give you support. That's the problem. Number two, what is the difference between the structure and its developer manje ne GEP? Zizo sebenza kanjani, because GEP is trying to address what you are saying now. But inkinga ye GEP ukuthi nayi operator njengebank. Uma ufuna imali bathi unemoto na. Unento esoso. So I'm seeing IPL is trying to address that. But I'm saying lastly, Chairperson, let us implement what we are taking decision on. For the past 20, I've been participating in democracy. I'm now close to 50 years. I've never seen anything implemented by this government. And we are voting for this government. Why? We cannot rebel against this government until you do the right things. Otherwise, we'll vote you out and put other people. Government. So, Chairperson, please implement what we are saying to you. Lastly, ukuthi nje lento sikhuluma sonke sikhuluma into eyi-one. Bengithi ngicabanga Chairperson ukuthi asinibuza imibuzo siyasubmita. So it will be not fair ukuthi nisiphendule unless there are those abafuna ukuthi niphendule party i-issue ukuthi nifuna i-submission so that nizoyenza iphili e-right. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, don't omit the gentleman. Yeah.
Ngiyanibulisa nonke ngegama lika Jesu bazalwane. Mina nikhuluma no Simon Shabangu from Ability Beyond Disability Foundation, which is an organization that helps people with disabilities in things like devices, like wheelchairs and all the stuff. And sizoyenza 5 years manje, sizoyenza 6 years this year. Okay, all I'm trying to say, Ugochi, since we run this thing, si abantu abaningi, even nala ithembisa, shoti sinama branches ku different provinces. eLimpopo sina 4 branches, eMpumalanga sina 4. Lani si eFoslora sisana 1, sizo launcha enye la ethembisa ngeMay. What I'm trying to say, ukuthi asifandiwa thina as an organization. Bake basivakashela social development. So last ifike singazwani khona ukuthi thina asisebenzi nge-age group. Bathi kumele sisuke from 0 to 10, and then if isuka from 10 siyale phezulu, but kumele sidile nge-age group. Thina sidila ngawo wonke umuntu. Bakhona abantu abaningi abadala sibanikeza ama-wheelchairs, sibanikeza ama-foot passes, aba-disabled nalaba able abadala. Abanye vele sinabantwana namanje ngisahamba ama-malls ngicela ama-donation for ukuthenga ama-wheelchair for labantu. Maybe abanye benu niyahlangana nami khona la ema-shop ngicela ama-donation for i-wheelchair. I-government yethu ama-wheelchair ayeke siwathole esibhedlela for free. I buy one wheelchair 3,200 ku Discam because singawatholi ama-wheelchair esibhedlela. But baningi abantu nginabo ngina about 3,000 and something beneficiaries. Baningi abantu balapho laba kuma waiting list esibhedlela. Umntwana ozale ba realize i-disability yakhe ana 4 years. This year una 10 years akana wheelchair. Nay understand? So okay, bazile bathi ngeke bakhona ukusifanda, bafanda i-local. Thina manje sidila national. What I want to know ukuthi siyakuphi ukuthi nathi basifande. Mina ngikhathele kuhamba ngicela ama-donation. I mean abanye abantu bangibuka kabi. Angeke ngiye e-donation ngicela ngingathothlini. Mina ngasithanda ngigcoka ngibe kahle. So babe ne-problem ukuthi mangigcoke kahle kusho ukuthi le donation le ngithenga impahla le ngayo. Na understand ukuthi ngifuna ukuthini? I-government ayisincede. Ngicela i-government iyazi ukuthi ithembisa i-database abantu aba-disabled bayengaki. Bahlala kuphi? Do they have accessibility in their own house? Kunokuthi ungene endlini, ungene toilet, ungakwazi ukuvala i-toilet because you-wheelchair. Incane i-toilet for wena. So i-government iyazi lokho na. Bekumele i-government ize izobona la thina sihlala khona ukuthi accessibility khona na kune-ramp from egate ukuthi ngiyofika emnyango. There's a paving, not paving encane. Encane nje, not the whole yard. Encane nje ukuthi ngikwazi kuyofika endlini. Ne understand ngisebenza nobhuti wami la ukhona, I'm sure sukuma bhuti. Umurena is also disabled. You can wonder, we are trainer abantu abakwazi ukuhamba bajive. Niyambona unjani? I'm sure niyambona no TV sinemovie edlala namhlanje ngo11. We are trying to sibonise ukuthi being disabled doesn't mean ukuthi it's over. So we need you, our government, to help us. To help us. You know, disability in baba. I mean, mina ngeke ngigibele la ngiyofika le bakhona. Bangiyenze disabled. If you were going to ramp it, I was not going to be disabled. I was going to reach there. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to steps. Ramp it. Okay, thanks. So I'm sorry about that, but there's a lot of places whereby they don't have ramp. Good ngangena staging. I-toilet ingane la ngijabule mbiye toilet manje ngiyibonile ivulekile. Ngajika de ngifuna ngakhona ngine privacy phakathi. So besicela nobhuti naye ngafuna kusho something.
1 minute nje azikho eziningi. Igama lami ngomurena all away from a Windmill Park. Mina into engiye ngayithola i-challenge ukuthi ugovernment ubaba Ramaphosa ngicela ukuthuma nina nimtshele ukuthi thina abantu aba-disabled uye wakhohlwa ukuyenza ama-mask wethu. I get a challenge nge-COVID yamampela hayi le ngiyibona manje. Ngihlala nomntwana endlini umntanami. So makaye esikolweni, if I want to go somewhere bengakwazi ukufaka i-mask, I take my 15 minutes ngize ngene next door ngicela ukuthi bangifake i-mask. So bengicela nje ukuthi nilungise leyo ndaba. If you need help, I'm a designer as well, ngiwadrawile ama-mask for the disability. Thank you, ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Siyabonga isikhathi sicela chair nisincede nisambe niyobatshela le ukuthi kahle siyakhala as disabled, and ikhona into esazayo nisazosibona i-government yethi thina abantu bakhubazekile we are a first priority, but then we understand ukuthi naku section 1 bengibhekile la ku page angazi page 5 ukuthi thina we are signed for for umsebenzi, but in 100% of people with disabilities you only get 10% those who are educated. Why? How many schools are here? Tembisa, yabantu abakhubazekile. You can count it. Ne? So thina sihlale endlini because thinking of going to Pretoria ngofunda khona ngisuka la is something else. Abazali kumele bazongibona as a disabled. So you understand what I'm saying? We lack schools. La kumele sifunde khona nathi sokwazi ukuthi ama company lawo i-government ithi asiqashe yakwazi ukusithola sinama qualifications. Because ngiyakutshela ungangena eShoprite maybe uzothola one. It's not only companies that are having those people. It's because of qualifications. Thank you very much.
Can we agree that 3 o'clock we have to really get the last person?
Yeah, Jesus. Dumelang.
Yeah, but let's agree that we can't cover everybody. Yes, so that we're going to allow the last 3 hands. Please. Okay. Yeah, continue.
Okay. Dumelang. Ki Mavis Patlamatlaga, Hozako, Iseka, Davidoni, Kilelukula, Iseka, Lesevisan Saita, Galebuha, Kileboha, Homemi Honahoto, Olina Hotovo, Hukamala, or Ubeulemo. Didn't talk about Languagazona di Fiona, more page 13, Huaka licensing of Township-Based Enterprises. I'm worried, guys, because Namokazon Demo Baragalanting. The last time we applied the bylaws, I don't know, it was 10 years back. More but by the caravan and all those stuff who applied the bylaws. But if you can go now, hakona pavement, hakona stop sign, hakona next part, can only permit. Ya go regisa go straight. But somebody sell on the street with my own benefits. Mara nna ke go strateng go thwa ke be le permit ya go regisa go strateng ke be le license ya go regisa go strateng, but there are so many people ba ba dutseng like all over, they don't have those permits. And then batho bao nna no ke mo ke tlo thetsa molao o go thwa nna mmele go mamela ke bind le ona ba busy ba regisa. What the government say about those people? Ke rata go leboga gagolo ene ke rata go bua le ka ntho ya funding. The fundings, the funding projects, not the one go the TV and go the newspaper. Not for us. The thing, but they go the TV, they go the newspaper, but not for us. I've been on the street for 25 years. Since from matric, kisa para size 32, say para 44. You can understand. Give on a go TV, they go newspaper and fail. I thank you, Mr. Chairperson. I wish and hope what the bylaws they apply you so that I can get this confusion. Demarcationing. Robot stop sign. Pavement and I give a proud take a permit as a street trader and a funding highly street trader or highly hawkers. Let the funding come to us so that we can get help, so that we can be like proud. That's why we upgrade because we are still like hand to mouth. Thank you.
Sanwanan Ninjan ngiyabonga ukuthi ngithole imike ngicishe ngakhala ngithi ngiyashesha vele mina ukukhala bayangazi abanye abantu igama ngomena athwa kaHlatshwayo from Ward 78 ngicela nje nokumbuka mfishane indaba engizokhuluma ngayo indaba yase I come from a organization but it's Lusaka Business Park. Mhlambe nayibona ngapha emuva la eloneni yami. Lusaka Business Park la Ward 78. It's cover ama space I-70, I-60. We are lucky to get a land from e-government. I'm saying we were lucky. We are lucky. We are lucky. We got our land in 2015. It was August. and it was presented by Parkstown. It was officially opened whereby it was supposed to be but in it's Township what? Yeah, Township Micro Mall. Unfortunately, though, sayithola ama lease agreement. Ama lease agreement wethu athi 30 years. 30 years count from there. 2015 until now, kunini. 2015, we got our land. And then from there, Master Tukchola Leo land. That land was never serviced, though we got 30 years lease agreement. That land was never serviced. There was no water, there's nothing. But though we got a document, unfortunately, it's a 30, it's 100 and something documents like this. It's like a mall lease agreement. Lease agreement, it says 30 years agreement, of which expiring on 2041. Unfortunately, kule lease agreement, we need to pay for the services, we need to pay for water, we need to pay for everything that is in the paper, but it's not actually existing on that land. Okay, now inking yaba khona. Leya land leya ngobe yahlala isikhathi eside ukuthi kufanele ukuthi kwenzekele i-township micro mall of which bekumele beyenzwe ngama-container. Yaqala manje sahlala 2 years 3 years singayisebenzisi kwaze kwafika isikhathi whereby people babendawo baqala uku-occupy. They occupied that place 4 times or 5 times, but we were able to ukuthi sibakhiphe through help esasinikezwa ukhansela wade then leso sikhathi uPetrozitha sakwazi ukubakhipha labo bantu. Unfortunately again nayi inkinga esibhekana nayo ulona amameya ngoba lento yayenzwa imeya ne sasiloku sizama ukuthi sibe nama meetings nama mayors are take over after Parkstown. Unfortunately, we were unable to smitane na that mayor Nyamazo with DA. Fortunately enough, there was another mayor, Washona omunye again. Ne, but my problem is now we cannot proceed. Ngalendaba le indawo yethu. Besicela ukubuza na umbuzo engizobuza oyi1 before ngiqala phansi. Siya kuphi manje? Who must we consult? Njengoba baba bekakhulumile ngebambanani. Are we going to face the failure efana neyebambanani lapha yana ukuthi kunabantu abatake over? Because right now abanye abantu abazoccupyanga indawo zabo because they are criminals who are taking things for granted endaweni yethu. I'm asking from you local economic development department, please help us. Leandao izogcina imoshakele. Please help us. Please help us. Yabo.
Yeah, we're going to the last one, but this is how we're going to do it. Baba by Mr. Matso, those whose hands were up, our officials will come to you and give you papers and a pen you write down. That's how we're going to do it, because it's not about you showing yourself. It's about the idea and what you present. So let's get the last person.
Jumela, Lina Lakakinnafa Nipala, which was Prince, also a member of Iseka. So, Ebarolo Bakamopele. Kinagana orale le mowe, Samiale Nane, Ludi Sitwe. Some of the officials it is because of but unfortunately nowadays including myself the officials enemy. A reason why, it is because of the services all over left and right. In Springs, renale problem ya lichila Springs singojile. even if le ka re fanta ka ditšhelete or la etsang springs se nqojile competition ya rena ma-Pakistan a sa ilo repeata because of re rekišetša in the pavement di chile. So ga re sana di-custom di a tšhaba go tla ko Springs town di ya ko ma-Springs mall ma-Springs Sakane. We try all our best to report all over EMPT le yona Springs issuile re swere di meeting several times re swere di meeting le waste management re gopela di dustbin ga gona le ntwe e diragago. I think as from today ga re le mo ke tlo gopela gore le di organization di drop tše le gore ne di na le problem re kopaneng re be ntho e one re bone gore na di issue tše re tshwanetse gore ne re di solveng jwang because of ga le government yona ga e na le se e ka direla go sone. From 2009 simple thing dustbin re facitše COVID a nyeke o blame motho ga khafulela gona mo o ija mo because of ravisheshe ga o ya ko masepala o hirile contract ye le gore each and every person every month o hwetša 3.5 mara ga ba jire next. So I thank you.
Yeah, so that was the last person.
Sanibonani.
Bona,
Njani?
don't interfere. Also respect me, because I made it clear to say you will write it down.
2 minutes.
Like about 2 minutes, but you write it down. We'll take it serious. It's not that you have to speak. Our officials will be with you. You will write it down. I want to plead with you. Please. Ke a gopela le na respect re kgone go fetša a ke nyaka go kitimela go fetša but we are aware gore re a repeater but if it's a new thing let them write it down. We'll take it very serious. Hookers, and we'll tell you also to say where do you go if you want to find us. I agree you have raised those issues. We'll make sure that we respond to them.
No,
To say
thanks very much, Comrade Mpapa.
Yeah,
It's very important this issue that we must reach chairperson of the session.
No, what I'm saying, listen to me first. I know there might be a burning issue. You get what I'm saying? There might be something that is very burning. But I want to plead with you and say, leadership, let's respect each other. And then if it's burning, I know it's burning, then we'll deal with you with it as a burning matter. And these are my leaders. I know them, all of them. You must understand, I'm also from the community. These are my leaders. But I want to give, with due respect, and then we'll write it down. The officials get there, liquidate their issues. Thank you very much.
I think there was a.
Or maybe we should get this. Oh, by the way, you're going to read. I thought maybe if you will have this, and then you are in front.
Yeah, refer to some of the points.
So you have to read. Okay.
Refer to some of the points.
But Leamona, it's fine. I'll listen again. All right.
Yeah, so I agree. So this is a key process here to develop legislation. So we are not surprised. There will always be different views, same matters. Because, but what is important, the views must be raised. The fact that little means you can raise these issues and then they can be incorporated in this very important piece of legislation. And then it can be implemented as well for your benefit. So reliable for that. So I think that point that was made somewhere more, what you are making it inputs. So, and I think Chairperson would outline a process at the end, or you can submit inputs. You are referring to pages and things that you want us to add, like the issue around youth participation, employment opportunities, and so forth. Please, write it down. I know it's recorded even now, but write it down so that our legislature can then include some of those things into the, this very important document. I will not answer everything. Most of the questions are the same. We agree that we have a problem. That is why we have this bill. So we agree that we have a problem and we are trying to address it. The issue is the how, and that's what we are discussing. What is in this bill, is it addressing the issues that we have picked up? And the points that you're making also help us in terms of refining some of those areas. So I'll just, let me start by implementation. So in the province now, because we've realized that we have implemented some programs, but we want to accelerate implementation. So the Premier and the MEC, so we've established what we call economic war room of the province. So we want to accelerate implementation. There are already programs that we're implementing, but we want to accelerate implementation. So the point around implementation is very, very important. And I think the response by the province to say that, no, if we really want to make a dent in terms of creating jobs and addressing unemployment, let's accelerate. To accelerate, how do we do that? And one of the options that was that let's approach this thing as if it's a war and deal with it that way. So everything must be urgent and so forth. And I think some of these interventions, so I'm sure the Premier will announce them in February now, some of the interventions that we are putting in place to accelerate implementation. So I want to agree with you on the implementation part that definitely it has to happen. So there's no point in having, it doesn't matter how well crafted this thing is. If we don't implement, then what's the point? So I do acknowledge that point as a point that must be emphasized and reaffirmed in this program as well. That's one. The other part, we've been on this journey for, like, I'm sure most of you were part of the previous engagement, almost like for 2 years now. So we've engaged municipalities at different levels, councillors, officials, but also engagement on specific things within municipalities, design of bylaws. A lot of what is in the document also is an input from them as well. So what I made reference earlier to a section in this that says this piece of legislation, if once passed, is binding on all organs of state, including municipalities. So we're not worried about municipalities that much because part of the design of this thing includes municipalities as well. So we've engaged them. I think we've used, Salga has helped us many times to run engagements with municipalities and organize municipal entities as well. So just to allay your fears there that if municipalities are not cooperating here, they'll be breaking the law because now this is the law, will become the law of the province, if I may put it that way. So yeah, I think that part we've definitely made sure that we include it as a strong point in this. Also, I think in terms of special groups, so already, I mean, even in terms of the design of projects or programs that we're implementing, we do have targets on special groups. We want to obviously improve on that. So if you look at the page, I think it's page 10, that talks about also the guiding principles, that we must also make sure that we implement programs that will safeguard the interests of socially vulnerable groups as well. So that will include, I think, some of the concerns that are raised as well. So the question is, so for us to be able to do that, what do you think are the programs that we can implement? And so remember, you're making inputs. So some we've already, I think, jotted them down. But if you want to follow up on some of those things, to say, well, I don't think maybe it's enough what you have put in this bill, add the following so that we are able to accelerate some of those things. So we do agree with those. But in terms of the guiding principles, those provisions are there. The issue is that we must programmatize them and implement and then make sure that we hold government accountable as well. And I see I've written a lot of I've written a lot of some points. The issue around the malls, hence is in the bill. So we know that definitely that it has to be addressed. A lot of those things. And I mean, we've engaged even owners of these malls at different levels. So we know, for example, that even in an instance where your product is accepted as a product that can be sold at these shops, they can take it and put it at the back next to dog food. Nobody sees your product. After 3 months, they say, hey, come back, your product is not moving, and because we're selling shelf space, we can't sell it here. So I'm saying there are many things, it's much more nuanced, the things that we need to deal with regard to the malls, the shops within the malls, access to opportunities, and so forth and so forth. So those are, the Commission has really made quite clear resolutions on some of these things, which we are reinforcing through this bill that we want to implement. So yeah, the issues around the malls, I do agree that it's very important because it basically represents the marketplace in the township, which for some reason it becomes a bit skewed over time. And then others, I think there were inputs, requests that we should continue, we should obviously have proper monitoring and evaluation. We should also make sure that there's mentoring of young people in our townships that want to go into business, training for financial management, enforcement of bylaws where necessary so that there's order, and many other things. So most were inputs, and I will not necessarily sort of answer those. Each around sort of some more examples of challenges that you are experiencing in the township, and so the question you should be asking, or at least when you make an input, hopefully a written input, to say, if I've got this type of a challenge around, maybe let's say, what would be the example? Maybe access to facilities. How do I craft this so that when it's in the bill or finally the act, it addresses my needs? It at least helps me to improve my business. So those are those very important things. We've also noted points that were raised around sponsor shops and so forth. We're working on different approaches around dealing with the issue around sponsor shop and supporting organized groups that are in this area as well. So we also do agree that you really need to be better organized so that you can sort of advocate for certain things, but also it's easy to partner with government for development. And it's acknowledged here that government doesn't want to see business forums or business chambers as enemies of development. There must be partners to development. So there must be meeting of minds around these issues. So we do agree. I think that point was emphasized at this side. We appreciate that. We think that it has to be really reinforced around organizing ourselves as well. And I also give just one example around. So we do implement projects where we localize opportunities. We structure a program that makes sure, in Tshwane, for example, unfortunately it's not here, it's in Tshwane, where we are currently building the Tshwane Automotive Special Economic Zone in Silverton. What we did there was that from the beginning we agreed that 45% value of that project will go to local SMMEs in Mamelodi. And we defined the process. We explained, so we came and said, this is the value of this thing, whatever billions, this is the value of this project. 45% will go to locals, and these are the types of locals we're going to look for. This is the criteria for qualifying, whatever. And so you look at the community, their capacity, you design a program. Otherwise, we will just miss each other in action. And that's what we've done. To date, I think since we started last year, we've appointed more than 140 local SMMEs, especially CIDB grade 1 to 4. So just to say that, that as an example of how working together with the business forums in Mamelodi, and you know the problem here, Boko Haram in Mamelodi, but we've managed to work with business forums in Mamelodi, and I managed to make sure that there is direct empowerment of SMMEs that are in construction and can take advantage of the opportunity. So we can do the same thing across sectors, across where there are opportunities, and we can localize those opportunities working with organized business, just to make sure that the process is fair. Because sometimes, and I'll be honest, sometimes when we go and we say this is the project we're introducing the community, this is how we want to empower locals, and you may find that there are what you call gatekeepers, people that want to choose who must participate. And we've dealt with that in Pretoria, I must say. We want to do the same across the board, so that when we talk about opportunities being localized, You talk about everybody, so everybody in the community must have an equal chance. So we tell them on time, those that must sort out whatever they need to sort out, they do that, and so forth and so forth. But what we've also done is to make sure that that project leaves a legacy. So you do mentoring, coaching, you train people while you're doing it. Some, for example, when we leave Mamelodi, you'll have a lot of what you call professional plumbers because we would have taken them through tests and many other things. So we want to do it where we have similar programs or not at least projects of large-scale projects that we can be able to localize opportunities. So just to say that the design of this bill is with some of those things in mind. You know, so how do we really minimize the impact of people who want to participate alone? And you allow everybody to have an equal opportunity to participate in some of these projects. And while they do that, you empower them, you mentor them, and you do so. So it's a huge lesson for us also what happened in Mamelodi as well. As I was saying, most were really comments and advices in terms of how we can improve. We appreciate it. I like the point you made around the Constitution, saying, I skipped it when I started, but around the rights in the Constitution. So it's very important. So it's your right, basically. So when you go to GP or anybody and you say, hey, I have a business I want to expand, you're not doing them favor. It's your right as a citizen to be able to expand your business. And as government, the challenge is that we must respond to that speedily, efficiently, and so forth and so forth. And then the issue around funding, of course, we acknowledge. That's why we're establishing a fund. Maybe let's not get into many other things, but we acknowledge that the existing system has not worked for our SMMEs. Otherwise, we wouldn't establish it because we already have existing institutions. The reason we establish it is because we know it's not working. It's not working to where we want it to. If 80% of enterprises in the townships are categorized as informal, and for you to access funds, it means you must be formal, then you have a problem. Just as an example. So it means that you must deal with the gap between formal and informal in a manner that allows the informal to access support and development, transit, grow, create jobs, and so forth. And then that's the design principle of this thing. So Chairperson Mhlumpe, I will not go into other details around examples, for example, that were given, licensing issues, localization of opportunities, issues around land. So those I think are noted, but also, I don't know, Chairperson, maybe obviously some of them will be converted into points, inputs, so that they find expression in this document as well. But with capacity building as well, what we are saying in terms of even with our youth programs now going forward, we also want to develop capacity building program aligned to pipeline of opportunities, so that we don't develop someone and then we leave them. So we want to develop or amplify opportunities, develop young people there, put them in the actual job placement, let them, theory to practice. And then we are also able to assess them whether these people, are, because sometimes people, as somebody was saying, some businesses were started out of need. Some people are entrepreneurs, some people may not, some people may take time to be. So we need to be able to have that process mapped out so that we know who wants to go where and so forth and so forth. And that is also the approach in terms of how we want to empower young people through programs that we are implementing as well. So I think maybe in the interest of time, I think Chairperson, I will pause here for now. And but we look forward to also, we're already working with other organized businesses. We're working with NAFCOC on other things, and so forth and so forth. So what we are saying is that let's organize ourselves and help government create jobs. Because we need to create jobs in the economy. We can't do it alone. We need the community to partner with us to help us create these jobs for our young people and for the future. So this may not be perfect, but it is trying to address the issues you are raising. And we hope that as you make submissions, you'll help us beef it up so that we can implement and have better impact. I'll pause here for now, and thank you for your time and as well. Thank you. agree for submissions.
Yeah, re ka lebella ko page 3 ya the bill. That's where you'll find the contact numbers. More page 3 of the bill, there are contact numbers. And then if you want to know the physical address, la tseba mo legislature e leng gona ya Gauteng, corner Resic and President. Now, if you get there, oh yeah, I think it's proper that you also give them your number, and then I'll also give you my number, and then also the number of Tabo is there on the. If you looked at the city press, whatever, there was a number there, but mine. As I've spoken, my name is Mpapa Kanyani, and my number is 060
at gauteng.gov.za. So on romela WhatsApp or email, just introduce yourself as well. Ivory, and then you get into your request or your questions, ne? So that at least I know who you are and where we met. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I should also give you my email address. It's mkanyani yeah, E at the end, at GPL, G for George, P for Peter, L for Leah, gpl.gov.za. It's mkanyani@gpl.gov.za. And ka yona tsela e re ke le lebogeng ka moka ga lena, and ke try go lo botša the way forward, because a ke re gone bjaleng ge le bill a sa tšhiba the law, a sa tšhiba legislation. It's not the law, it's not the act. That is why really processing ya go consult. So require the views ka moka tše le tlang ka tšona, and then based on your views I get a draft, then it must speak to what you are saying. Gore na more fit a jwang. I get le ka municipality te ba di bylaws, the bill must talk to that. Le bolela ka access of the land, the bill must talk to that. Le bolela all these things tše di bolelang. Re a go dula as a committee, re na le the legal side. I get o mo boletše ka constitution, a bolela ka inclusivity and all that. Le yona re a go consult gore bill is scared to contradict e bolele ka these things. And I get ba bang le re document re a reject, le yona ra go lebella gore awa ga batho ba ra reject, you can't come up with something e le ra le nyake. So this is the process. ya go consulta, and I'm happy I agree be le sign mula. Not only the names, I agree ba bang le na le organization. I'm sure le dingwetše mula. Ge e se la dingwala ke tla ba kgopela ba na le organization because be ke sa bolela le Ghana. A ke re na le sector engagement. Re kgone go le bitša also as a sector. Re kgone go dula le na re tseba re ke this sector. Re kgone go engage na le lena because we don't want to rush this. Re nyaka go make sure gore re coverile input ya almost e ka se be everybody, almost everybody. So this is the process that we are doing. If fela the process, you must know, re a o kry-a ba legal. A ke batla ba lebeletse what you are saying. Ba go tlaka what you call a legal opinion. Namile ra ba le ba bang ba scrutinize melao. Le bona ba go tlaka document ya bona gore melao ir. Then go ba department. No, re phile gore go di jwa go ka lebella program ya rena. Re by the end of March, Sanjay finish all this process. Because Arnya gonna consult forever. It will be now, then go tla ba department le bona ba re ke report. Portfolio committee, I get a re le written submissions re sa di dumela. Le a di romela di written submissions. Then re tlo re come together. When are we together? To honor reality table in the house here legislature. And come a house table is not a given. I can get various parties. They are going to engage on it. Portfolio committee ki di party kamuka. Like Arifi Shaker, Kinalinta Ghana. That's the DA. Kina from the ANC. Renale EFF. Renale ACTP. All the parties are there. Re engage on this thing. Come kagarena or na ring. Ikon iyako speaker. I sign off iyako premier. The premier and it doesn't take it. Usanje scrutinize. Gabana se sing ay busheje mrago. Before iya go the judge go ikon go ba a legislation. And a right. The moment the constitutional the judge or the constitutional court, the right here we oppose. So this is the process that we're going to follow. The input they are going to assist us. And that's why we're very open. Very look what I mean on Tuesday, go Soweto. Issues that were raised, that's what they've been raising. Retlaberele ko Randfontein, re sa tlo ya le ko Bozongeziswe, re sa tlo boaboya, re nyaka gore almost in Gauteng, we've touched almost every sector. So this is where we are, Erikele Lebogeng, and then we are at the end, but on an announcement. I get the announcement outside. Can you just make the announcement very quickly before Kiba Leboga Kamuka?
Thank you, Mudula Stulo. Get a level community, Hoba ki create chance our Kibule Leno. Na ki Robert Ndlovu from Ward 79. Merekwaka kira di ribbon blocks, tse di bitswang di slabs. Now, come mereko ole hona le dilo tse ngata tse tsenelang ka hare tse ka etsang hore ke hire more than 1,000 people. Ki compete le the white people. Ka ha ba di etsa, re na le bo goms, re na le bo ba bang ka Freinageni. Ki di etsa bjalo. Ki na le di barking these guys ba o checka dilo. Not that. Barking but ke mereko o leng right o tsamayang too much. But the problem, hakena black from government. I need space. Right now, ki yetsetsa ko motseng wa ka. Now, ke na le 12 ya batho ba ke ba hirileng ba leng permanent. Now ke nyaka go
Make the announcement, ebe announcement. Yes. Make it I thought you want to announce that you have got spaces, you can hire people.
Okay.
Yeah, can you make announcement?
Okay. Sorry ba akere iba ela ya hore ne ke tsago tsia taba kaofela ke ibie pele a lona. Yes, I understand hali rate ka tseleo. So
e re ke o cut short re leboga o di tsebishitse ba go bone ba o tsebile. Then let me cut you short because na kwa a se re emela kere. Ya go njwa le ba a ke le tshwere le nyaka go ja le tshwere ke tlala. Yeah, let's make sure that Kiki officially I'm closing this, but now you'll have to but I want to raise something on that one. I get the service provider. I reach a service provider somewhere. I get their business forums here. The service provider in the catering. We make sure that we take it where people are. More than this thing, that's how we get the service provider. But now the problem here, I know it's a very good thing. Livoni, very open. Livoni, breakfast na bele joang. Marchelte ichu ilaker. Kinakolo boncha gore na go le re shaetsa lena. Go jwa le re lunch, le gona lunch eo a ke sentse imite shelter ba fanyona. Can we raise a sorry kirauri a change? Are to change to kifa one more young one to business. Mara, this get a shade, please. The meeting is closed. Thank you very much.